Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's presentation of the United States Auto Club featuring the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. It is the final weekend of action for the 2025 season in sprint car competition. 52 pre-registered, 46 have made the call for night number one of the 58th running of the Western World Championships. Let's set the stage and go to tonight's pre-race show with Drake York.
Thank you so much, Brian Holbert. We are joining you live from the Manzanita Pavilion here at Central Arizona Raceway as we get ready to go for the 2025 Western World Championships featuring the USAC National Sprint Car Championship along with the Avanti Windows and Doors USAC CRA Sprint Cars. We're joined by our first guest of the weekend, Dayson Persley, who this guy, there's normally a lot to talk about. I think it's just fitting that we start off with the elephant in the room. Big announcement for your career today, going to KCK Racing, driving the Napa Auto Parts number 9 with Kubota High Limit in 2026. I know this one has been in the works for a really, really long time. Just talk about the announcement that has been made today and the feedback that you've received already.
Yeah, it's probably the worst kept secret, I think, in motorsports. But no, something to have that big announcements like that is hard to keep a secret. But no, nonetheless, I'm excited to get to go racing with Casey Kane. I've looked up to him, and he's been a childhood favorite of mine, I could say, racing on Sundays and everything, and he would come back and run Chili Bowl, and grew up watching Darren Pittman in the 9 and everything, so it's just fitting that I'm back in the 9. I grew up racing micros and stuff with the number 9 on my car, so yeah, it just feels like a full life circle here today, and I'm finally glad that we were able to announce it, and I'm looking forward to continuing to run on the Kubota High Limit Series and kicking off that come 2026.
We're all really excited for you too, and the thing that I find fitting, you talk about the 9, that was the number you made your USAC national debut into, so really cool to see you get that opportunity with Casey Kane next year. We're all very excited for you and wishing you the best of luck. Let's turn back to the USAC side of things now. Your last USAC outing was about as good as it gets. You won all 3 USAC features of the 4 Crown of Eldor. I know that feels like a million years ago, but just tell us how special that night was to you and your family as a whole.
Yeah, that was something that I went out to do when I first laid my eyes on the 4 Crown, and that was probably 2019 when I wasn't old enough to race the midget, with USAC and everything, and that was something that I wanted to do, was to go there and race every single class. I thought it was cool what Tyler Courtney, Brady Bacon, and Justin Grant were doing at the time, and I thought those guys were nuts for running 3 classes in one night. And to say I went there this year to run 5 classes and win 4 out of the 5 of them is extremely cool. And then to only add my list to the 4 drivers that I've swept the USAC portion is extremely special to me. But no, I don't think it's going to be it's going to be hard to top that night that we had on our last USAC outing. But nonetheless, the CB Industries guys are all focused on this weekend and what Jerry Petty and everyone that has really put in a lot of work to this Arizona crowd and the Western world and everything. I've got to race for a lot of good of the Arizona crowd of people, and got to hear a lot of great stories of Manzanita and the Western world and all of that. So just cool to see what Jerry Petty and everyone has done to this facility, and it's also very fitting that I'm in an Avanti car as well too. So hopefully we park that thing down in Victory Lane come Saturday, and look forward to doing that.
Things getting started back in the pit area. I'm going to ask you one more question before we let you go. You know what it's like to win this race. As a matter of fact, you swept it back in 2023 at Kokopah with the USAC CRA Sprint Cars. Obviously, the hype around this one is much bigger than, say, the one that you won. And overall, there's just so many cool things going on this week. But for you personally, as a driver, I know that really appreciates the history of the sport. What would a second Western World mean?
I mean, it would be huge. I feel like, there's so much more hype around this one just because of, what everyone has put into it. And Andy and the Burkharts and just everyone that has, put a lot of time and effort into making this, a special weekend. And there's, lists on and on of names that have, put their hard-earned money into this where we can go out here and put out a show. And there's this little, crown jewel in Arizona, in Casa Grande, Arizona. I feel like that's a hidden gem that's only going to get brought to, the motorsports world more and more as time goes on. So looking forward to capping off this weekend with hopefully a win, and then looking forward to coming back still here in March with High Limit.
We'll let Dayson get back to the pit area. He's got a very busy tonight, not only running in the 410, but the Sand Chevrolet Wild West Sprint Cars as well. Stay tuned on FloRacing race fans. More coverage to come from the Manzanita Pavilion ahead of night number 1 of the Western World Championships.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Are you looking for a new race car hauler, trailer, or easy-go golf cart? What about something dependable? How about buying from someone you can depend on? Contact Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts. They're a certified Featherlight dealer with all kinds of trailers and other products to fit your needs. Located just 2 hours north of downtown Indianapolis, Elliott's Custom Trailers will deliver your trailer or cart anywhere in the United States. No matter where you're from or what you're looking for, the goal is always the same: ultimate customer satisfaction. So don't wait. Contact Elliott's today and find a trailer or golf cart that fits your needs.
Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located minutes from downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and holds an FFL license. If you have any questions, please call Indy Metal Finishing today at 317-858-5353. Find them online at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Indy Metal Finishing, or visit their website at indymetalfinishing.com.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I'm faster than you. Yeah, well, I'm gnarlier than you. I get more sideways. I'm louder. Much louder. I get wilder than you. You sure about that, bro?
Harder.
Slicker.
Cooler.
Tougher.
Let's go.
So what you got?
Hey, are you caught in the tariff trap, rising costs, and unpredictable delays? Well, it's time to reshore, reclaim, and reinvent with Parallax Group Incorporated. With over 30 years of expertise, we deliver high-quality assembly and manufacturing solutions right here in North America. Our strategically located facility near the U.S. border ensures faster distribution and reduced logistics costs. Experience efficiency, control, and excellence in every product. Parallax Group Incorporated, quality assembly processes in North America.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Welcome back to night number 1 of the Western World Championships here at Central Arizona Raceway in Casa Grande, Arizona. I'm joined now in the Manzanita Pavilion with our USAC pre-race show by the man himself, one of the guys that's the main contributor, making sure the Western World is great again, Jerry Petty himself. First off, Jerry, I have to compliment you on your outfits. Very Western, very cowboy, and take a notice, too, what he did with his headset. He was not going to give up the cowboy hat, so he modified our headset to make sure it fit. Great outfit. You are in the Western theme, my friend.
Thanks, man. I've never been a cowboy before. I'm kind of excited, but it is the Western, right?
Yeah, I feel like I should have went more Western, and then you walked in, and then I felt like I could have went way more Western.
We can fix that tomorrow night. We'll have you set up.
Last year at Mojave, I had the cowboy hat. That's about as Western as a guy from Chico, California gets. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. I know how much this race means to you, and you and I were talking at the Western World Mojave last year, and you said, look, this is going to be next year in 2025 the greatest, biggest Western World you've ever seen. And I know you've had a little over a year to really plan this, but what's it feel like to see this whole big plan for this great event come together?
Well, what's most exciting is last night with practice night, the energy. There was just so much energy. There was not one person that was negative. Everybody's excited. They're just happy that we got a community again in Arizona. We've got a really good racetrack again in Arizona, and my God, people are showing up. It's going to be fun.
How big is it to deliver that? Because I was talking with some friends on the East Coast about the great tracks we have lost. Obviously, Manzanita, where this started back in '68, that's gone by the wayside. There's so many good other ones along the way that we've unfortunately lost and we don't get a race at anymore. So how important has it been to you to get Casa Grande, this racetrack here in Central Arizona, up and running? And not only that, but a premier facility as well.
Well, that was my whole goal when I got with Brad Whitfield and asked him if I could help get something going. It was obvious there was still a lot of people that wanted to race in Arizona. We just had nowhere to race. And there'll never be another Manzanita, you know, but if we can make this even close, it'll work. And that's my goal.
I would argue you've gotten close. The Manzanita Pavilion, if you're coming to Central Arizona for either tonight or Western World or tomorrow, you got to stop by in here. There's so many cool pieces of that, too. Talk about the love for Manzanita Speedway. Obviously, it's where it started, but I know that's where it started a lot for you, too, as well.
Yeah, I grew up there. You know, my mom and dad were timer and scorekeeper there from '65 until 1980. You know, I've told this story 1,000 times. My dad and Keith Hall were great friends, you know, and we'd go to Mexico with Keith, and I used to go and stay at his house in the summer, you know, in Phoenix. And we were tight families, you know, we were tight families together. And I wish Keith was here to see this. You know, he would be pretty happy right now. You see all the homage to him in here in the Manzanita Pavilion, and he was just a great man. And you know, a lot of people, you know, thought they didn't like him, but when he was gone, they really missed him. He did a lot for racing in Arizona.
1,000%. Keith Hall will forever go down as one of the greats in Arizona racing for his contributions at Manzanita Speedway. So you talked about the passion with Manzanita Speedway. How do you carry that over to a big event like this one, too? Do you just kind of go back to your childhood of what you thought was good, or how do you kind of determine what you're looking for in a big event like this one here at Central Arizona Raceway?
Well, you just talk to everybody. Everybody tells you, you know, like at Kokomo, the Smashdown, they like the live band, you know. They like the dash, the Underwood dash that we're going to do. That's kind of exciting, and it's paying some money, so all the drivers are excited about that. And you just talk to everybody and say they tell you what they'd like to have, and you try to make it happen if it makes sense, and that's what we're doing here.
And, of course, too, your support goes through so many teams in the field. Of course, you got your own team with Petty Performance Racing, not only with Kyle Cummins, but with R.J. Johnson and RTJ. I want to talk about RTJ for a second, too. He's a big-time star. There's no question about it. You've gotten him into a few of your cards. He's ran for Team Arizona with the Avanti logos on the side. How big of a part is he about this, too? Because RTJ – you know, he's mostly known more or less for being on the late model side of thing, the stock car side of thing, but it's a big deal for him to get over here, and especially for the Arizona crowd as well, to see him in a non-wing sprint car in Arizona.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So we're at the Avanti BC39, the BC39 sponsored by Avanti, and he was driving a midget for Andy, and I walked up to him. I said, first time I ever met him was BC39 this year. I said, hey, RDJ, you want to drive a sprint car for me at the Western? He looks at his calendar. He goes, okay. So I said, wait. I said, Andy, come here. Andy, RTJ he'll drive a sprint car. He driving for you or me? Andy goes, I don't have another car. I said, okay, he's driving for me. And that was it. He knows RJ real well. You know, him and RJ grew up here in Arizona together. So he was fine with RJ putting together a sprint car for him. And I thought he's going to help sell tickets because he's from Arizona, modified guy, you know, late model guy. People love him. He's famous. And I said, going to help sell tickets. Well, we had him out a couple weeks ago to practice. He wanted to get some time in the sprint car. RJ held the track record here at 15.7. He goes out and blows a 14.9. And that's when I looked at Brad Whitfield. I said, hey, he's not only going to sell tickets, he just might win this thing. So we're excited, and he's excited, so it's pretty cool.
I talked to him earlier today. Hopefully we'll see that interview either on the broadcast or on social media. Very, very excited. I know the Arizona fan base is really excited to see him here too. I'm looking at this wall of sponsors we have behind us too. Of course, obviously you're a massive part of this with Avante Windows and Doors, but I look at Andy Reinbold and Apache Transport, a lot of companies that are based out here in the Southwest. When you kind of brought, hey, this is what I'm going to do at Western World, was it maybe even overwhelming to a sense that how many teams and how many companies really wanted to invest and make this bigger and better than ever?
Yeah, Andy was the one that really pushed me hard. You know, he grabbed me by the ear at one of those tracks in Indiana and said, hey, let's make the Western great again. And that make the Western great again was his idea. And then Phil Rossi, nobody loves racing like Phil Rossi, man. And he stepped up and he helped so much. And we just got a lot of really great sprint car lovers in Arizona. And Andy's been out here. AME Electric's probably done $100,000 worth of electrical for us. He's putting money into the purse. He's paying for the Underwood Dash. Phil has put a ton of money into the purse. Phil, I had to raise some bleachers out here, and I had to bring in, I don't know, it's like 200 truckloads of dirt. And Phil did all that for me, took care of all that for me just because he wanted the racetrack to be nice for Arizonans. And I'm lucky. I'm real lucky to have partners like that.
I know throughout the year in personal conversations with you, you've always talked about making this event. I was telling somebody earlier today, too, I like going racing. You like going racing. But both of us love going to events. This is an event. You look right outside the pavilion. There's live music going. Last night we had bull riding in here, mechanical bull riding. We should clarify. We didn't have a live bull in here, but we had stuff like that. And I know there's so many other things going into this weekend. How important was it for you to make this an event, a destination race, rather than just any normal race?
Well, you have to make it an event now. You have to, back in the 60s and 70s when Western first came around, we didn't have the Suns, we didn't have Diamondbacks, we didn't have Cardinals football. So Manzanita and ASU football was kind of it, And now you're competing for against all those other sports venues and stuff. So you got to make an event so people come. But my question is, I wonder why Brad didn't have the live bull here last night, because we bought one. I think you've met Sir Loin Longhorn.
I did an interview with Brad and Sir Loin today. Now that's Sir-Loin. We want to make that clarification. We're not throwing a stake out on there. That's another thing too. This is the only racetrack. I told Brad in the interview I did today. This is the only racetrack I've ever been to with live animals that live here. They're not brought in from a ranch. They live here at Central Arizona Raceway. Yep. And that was one of my favorite parts. No matter where the Western World went, there's always been a live animal element. I forget how it was in Manzanita back when this event started, but how important was it to have that aspect? Because, again, it's one of the things that makes it an event and not just a race.
Yeah, we just he's a young one, so we're not he seems very friendly, but we got to be careful, But I thought Brad was going to bring him over tonight. Hopefully we'll see him running around here somewhere.
Hopefully so. Well, Jerry, from the race fans in Arizona, from the race fans around the world watching on FloRacing, we're so excited to be here at Central Arizona Raceway. And thank you for you and Brad and the whole team here at Central Arizona for making this truly an event. We're very excited.
Thanks to you guys at Flo and USAC for being here and making it easy for us. And one thing I just want to add is I really want the folks of Arizona to know that Petty Performance Racing Team and Kyle Cummins, that's their team. It's an Arizona team. So embrace Kyle. Go meet Kyle. Shake his hand, congratulate him for the championship, and thank you guys for having me.
Once again, that's Jerry Petty as we're getting things rolling here on night number 1 of the 2025 Western World Championships here at Central Arizona Raceway.
Thank you very much, as we'll have cars out to the racetrack here in just a little bit as crews continue to work on the racing surface. 52 drivers again signing up, 46 making the call with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. The first time the national portion of the United States Auto Club has made the trip out here to the 3/8 mile oval. Of course, a regular stop for the Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA Series. They were back here earlier this year, a couple of trips here actually this year. RJ Johnson is the CRA track record holder at a 15.730 last night during hot laps. Jake Swanson during a 15.1 second lap, picking up an extra $1,000 as the quickest lap of the night as well. If you haven't done so, make sure you stop down into Merchandise Row. The USAC merchandise trailer is down there and waiting for you. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, license plates, and more. Of course, if you don't find it there, you can also find it at usacgear.com. Driver T-shirts and other apparel available down there. Cal Cummins, they do have a limited quantity of his 2025 championship T-shirt down there, so make sure and get there while your size is still available. AMSOIL is the title sponsor of the USAC Sprint Car National Championship. The AMSOIL Shop by Vehicle tool at AMSOIL.com takes the guesswork into picking the best oil and filter combination for your vehicle. Choose the right product and packaging option for your vehicle. Enjoy fast, free delivery right to your door. Go to AMSOIL.com to learn more. Another reason to stop by the USAC merchandise trailer, you can sign up to be tonight's AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner. If your name is picked, you and a guest of your choice will receive a prize pack and ride of the pace truck and the opportunity of a lifetime to watch tonight's USAC Sprint Car feature event from the infield. Also, while you're down there at Merchandise Row, you can grab a complimentary can of NOS Energy. Try new Zero Sugar 100% NOS. Again, that is available down at the NOS souvenir stand. You can also find a retailer near you at drinknos.com. Throughout the 2025 season, you can be part of the action with a chance to win with Play USAC, offering you, the fans, a way to put money on your favorite drivers with top sports books and daily fantasy providers offering odds and exclusive sign-up offers for USAC racing fans. There's never been a better time to give it a try. Go to nxtbets.com/playusac for more information. Void where prohibited. Must be 21 years or older to participate. Please play responsibly. Fight back against addiction at 1-800-GAMBLER. A reminder, all of the odds that you see on USAC drivers are provided to the United States Auto Club by nxtbets.com. They put Dason Pursley as the odds-on favorite tonight at plus 163. Brady Bacon, who has 5 wins in Western World Championship competition, at 275. Kyle Cummins, of course, a defending champion of the Western World, at 393. A little bit further down the line, C.J. Leary at a 1683. The long shot they have on our most recent USAC National Feature winner, Jake Swanson, at plus 5108. Cookout presents always fresh, never frozen burgers, barbecue, hot dogs, all cooked fresh every day. And get this, over 40 different flavors of shakes, all prepared fresh and made by hand every day. It's all yours. Find a Cookout location. Go to cookout.com. Cookout, a proud supporter of USAC Racing, especially the NASCAR Youth Series. Sunoco is the official race fuel of USAC Racing. As the world's largest manufacturer of racing fuel, Sunoco has been the standard in motorsports for over 50 years. Known for innovation, consistency, and high performance, Sunoco Fuels has been the choice of racers in virtually every form of motorsport, from grassroots tracks to premier international series. Committed to supporting the racing community, Sunoco powers champions and fuels unforgettable moments at the track. Car IQ has created a payment solution aimed at fleets that allows cars and trucks and gas pumps to pay for fuel without the need of a fuel card or credit card. Car IQ Payment Solutions, Car IQ Pay, replaces fleet card products and protects against fraud while significantly reducing back office vehicle reconciliation. Learn more at gocariq.com today. There's still time to set your lineup on Dirt Draft. Download the Dirt Draft app today. Set up your league. Play against your friends, family, your neighbor, even the guy sitting next to you that says he knows it all when it comes to USAC racing. Just to prove him wrong, use referral code USAC when signing up to get a $20 digital gift card to shop online at usacgear.com. Indy Metal Finishing is the official sponsor of the USAC work area. Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located minutes from downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and they hold an FFL license. Visit them online at indymetalfinishing.com for more information. Whether you're running a go-kart, a micro, a midget, a modified sprint car, late model, Silver Crown, or even the tractor, Rod & Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performing to your maximum potential. Remember, they don't just sell them, they race them. Go to rodandsupply.com for more information. K1 Race Gear, born in 2003 with the philosophy of offering safety products to customers that they would be proud to use. Whether your son or daughter is just starting out in the sport or you have a lifelong passion for racing, they have the safety products for you. Go to K1RaceGear.com today for more information. The official fire prevention solution of USAC Racing is Inferno Armor. Created for the motorsports industry and used in many other applications, Inferno Armor quickly and easily makes fabrics fire retardant and heat resistant. Simply put, it's high-performance fire protection and convenient spray. Inferno Armor presented the fire move of the night in all 3 USAC national divisions throughout the 2025 season, where they award the driver that puts on a fire for show a complimentary bottle of Inferno Armor. All the ways to follow along tonight. Of course, you can find us on Facebook by searching for USAC Racing, on X and Instagram at USAC Nation, live timing and scoring via the Race Monitor app. And a reminder, if it's on social media or Race Monitor, it is unofficial. Official news, notes, points, and updates are done at the close of the night's program at USACRacing.com. Of course, along with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship, the San Chevrolet Wild West 360 Sprint Car is also in action tonight. I believe 41 of those drivers checked in this evening. Take a look at some of the drivers that have checked in for the 360 division, and they're running for some pretty decent money this weekend as well.
Yeah, 75,000 tomorrow, or 7,500 tomorrow, not 75,000. Number's a little bit off, but
7,500 tonight.
Tonight, 10,000
for USAC. 35,000 tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go. Numbers is not my my strong suit, especially because I work with numbers all day. Once 5 o'clock hits, it's out the door for me. But yeah, 41 360 sprint cars have checked in tonight. 4 heats tonight. Going to do passing points for them. Be 20, top 20 in passing points will be locked into the main, and then we're going to have a 12-lap B feature for locking in the next 4. So yeah, 24 strong, going 25 laps for the main event tonight. So 5 extra laps. So usually you get the 20 laps out here at Central Arizona Raceway, but run an extra 5 tonight.
And, of course, tonight's racing action, seeding tomorrow to set up for everybody going into the feature events. 2,000 win tonight on the 360 side, 3,000 win tomorrow, and 300 to start, 400 to start this weekend. And don't forget, tomorrow, it all gets underway about the same time. Pits open at 2, front gate opens at 3, hot laps set for right around 5 o'clock, and, of course, racing at 6 p.m. That is all Mountain Standard Time. Remember, Arizona does not observe daylight saving time, so when you're looking at the time and you see Mountain Time, you need to remember Arizona is actually on the same time as California right now.
And if you're from out of town and Sunday morning you're still around, want to watch some football, we get started at 10 o'clock. 9 o'clock tomorrow for the college games.
Of course, a lot of great companies making this weekend possible. We got Buffalo Wild Wings. They have been providing food for us down in the pits all weekend long. My weight loss is shot. Juco Superfoods, AM Electrical, Apache Transport, Avante Windows and Doors, Busch Light, all great supporters of this weekend's racing action. We got to hear from Drake a little bit earlier. Got a word in with Dason Pursley. Got a word in with Jerry Petty. And now he's got a little bit more to talk about. He's down in Victory Lane.
Thank you so much, Brian. And yes, a very happy driver when it comes to the 410 side of things. We'll be standing down here later this evening. Got a few more things, of course, we want to hit on before we get on track. Let's start with our season-long AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Championship points headed into the penultimate round of the season here tonight at Central Arizona Raceway. Kyle Cummins, of course, locked up the championship a number of weeks ago at the Lawrenceburg Speedway during the Fall Nationals. He currently leads the series with 3,219 points. Mitchell Moles, Logan Seavey, Kevin Thomas Jr., Justin Grant, Briggs Danner, C.J. Leary, Jake Swanson, Chase Stockin, and Gunnar Setzer currently holds the lead when it comes to the Rookie of the Year battle, rounding out the top 10 in your USAC National Sprint Car Championship points. Co-sanctioned this weekend with the Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA Sprint Car Series. They have 4 races left on their season, including tonight and tomorrow here in Casa Grande, Arizona. RJ Johnson currently leads the standings with 1,316. He's going after his 2nd championship in 2 years with the series. Ricky Lewis currently behind him in 2nd. He's down by 110. Austin Williams is currently 3rd, AJ Bender 4th, and Tommy Thunder Malcolm rounds out the top 5. Blake Bauer, Charles Davis Jr., David Gasper, Connor Lundy, and Brody Roa round out your top 10 when it comes to your season-long Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA Sprint Car Championship points. Over to our Dirt Draft driver matchup on the evening. Briggs Danner will face off against Gunnar Setzer, who bested his driver rival on Dirt Draft last weekend down at Route 66 Motor Speedway in Amarillo, Texas. We'll start with Briggs Danner. He's on the left-hand side of your screen. He is at USAC Driver 1. He has chosen Kyle Cummins, himself, RJ Johnson, Austin Williams, and AJ Bender. Gunnar Setzer, the right-hand side of your screen, he's at USAC Driver 2 in the post-race public lobby. He has chosen Mitchell Moles, Jake Swanson, Chase Stockin, himself, and Ricky Thorne Jr. Always exciting to see how our drivers fare on Dirt Draft. And a reminder, you can play with the USAC drivers when you play in the public lobby with our friends at Dirt Draft. Of course, big money up on the line this weekend, including tonight. The prelim night alone pays $7,500 to the winner when it comes to the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship in the Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA Sprint Car Series. But things got started last night here in Casa Grande with practice, open practice for anybody that wanted to take it. When it was all said and done, Jake Swanson, of course, your most recent winner with the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship, laid down the fastest lap at a 15.109. Also worth noting for Jake, he's looking for his third Honest Abe Roofing Fast Time Qualifier Award in 3 races. And if he was able to nab the track record along with that Honest Abe Roofing Quick Time Qualifying Award here tonight, that would be his 3rd straight in a row, as I said, but also 3rd straight track record in a row, a record I'm sure Jake really wants to chase. Behind him, it was Briggs Danner, Mitchell Moles, Kyle Cummins, and Chase Stockin rounding out the top 5 when it came to your overall practice results. And Brian, talking to a lot of the drivers at teams post-practice, some of them were scratching their heads, others felt good. But we really won't get our true measuring stick until we get on the racetrack here tonight, especially for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. With how many cars we have here in the pit area, qualifying is going to be of the utmost importance. Before we get going into our Dirt Draft hot laps, let's take a look at our runner show tonight for the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship. Engine heat working their way out on the speedway right now. From there, we'll go into our Dirt Draft hot laps, Honest Abe Roofing qualifying to follow. And as I said, with 46 cars in the pit area, it is going to be of the utmost importance to qualify here well tonight. From there, we'll go into our heat races. Should be 4 on the docket tonight. And currently on the schedule, we do have a C main slated, but if we do lose a few cars, that could fall by the wayside. After that, it's our Elliott's Custom Trailers and Karts semi-feature for the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship. We'll take the top 4 into tonight's feature event to round out night number 1 of the Western World Championship. Brian, feels surreal, but we're finally here. We're at the end of the season when it comes to the USAC National Sprint Car Championship. Just 2 more races to go, including tonight, and we've been excited about this one all year. It's going to be a fun weekend.
It definitely is. Thank you very much. If you have not made it down into Merchandise Row, make sure and get there while your size, color, and design is still available. Also, for those of you that have ordered on USACgear.com, remember the merchandise trailer is headed out to the West Coast, so there will be a little bit of a delay on getting things shipped out. As they are able to, they will ship your order out. So again, expect just a little bit of a delay on getting everything shipped your way. Honest Abe Roofing qualifying going to be coming up here in just a little bit. Before we get to that, we will have Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Extra money has been added to tonight's quick qualifier. Of course, the $150 from Honest Abe. Cody Quarles kicking in $100. Woodland Auto Display along with WC Friend Company, each kicking $100. Woodland and WC Friend, the normal quick time sponsor for the Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA Series. So each one kicking in $100 as well. So quick qualifier tonight, $450 extra into their pocket. Also, $1,000 has been anonymously donated for Hard Luck. $200 in each of the feature events tonight, $300 in each of the feature events tomorrow. So I want to thank everybody who continues to just up the ante and add some more money into this event as cars make their way out to the speedway to finish ironing in the racing surface. Saw the track really progress nicely last night. It worked up to a nice, great big cushion on the wall at both ends. And it was interesting to watch how the track progressed. 1 and 2, they were able to kind of enter in, then sweep out. And turns 3 and 4, the way they were setting in, it really gave loud pedal vibes when they were going into turn 3, just really having to kind of twist the car in to get it around the corner. Looking for great things here tonight as the drivers make their way out. So drivers on track will be a part of Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. Driver coming down the front straightaway He is your 2025 national champion of the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car Series out of Princeton, driving the Avante Unizador Stanton Mach 1 chassis. Premier Recycling, Apache Transport, Petty Performance over 3P. That is Kyle Cummins. Kyle Cummins in the 3. Rolling in behind him out of Phoenix, Arizona, driving the Avante Unizador, CK Electric, Walker Filtration, High Performance Lubricants, Stanton DRC, Petty Performance number 2. That is JJ Yaley. JJ Yaley in the number 2. A little bit of problem last night on his machine as they were chasing a fuel leak. They finally got that narrowed down and able to come out and turn a couple of quick laps. Rolling behind him on the back straightaway, he's out of Coleman, Alabama, driving the Inferno Armor, Majestic Electric, Factory K, Nittigo Strap Motors, Lucas Oil Center number 3R. That is Kevin Thomas Jr. Kevin Thomas Jr. in the 3. David Gasper rolling into turn number 3 right now out of Santa Barbara, California. Driver the Valley Precision Products, Shaver Power, DRC, Certified Construction, Martin Roofing and Sheet Metal, Capital Label Company, number 18. Driver rolling in on his back bumper right now, that is Harley Burns. He is in the Tom Hendricks zone, number 14 this week, and he's out of Brazil, Indiana, driver the Snap-on Tools, McKenna Coffee, Chevrolet Triple X Chassis, number 14. One of our Western World Rookie of the Year contenders. The driver in 3, that's Jim Van Zant. He's from right down the road in Prescott, Arizona, driving the Biltmore Automotive Kistler Mach 1 chassis, Randy's Paint and Body Shop, Van Zant owned number 3B. The 4C rolling into rolling to the middle of the back straightaway right now. At a Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the MP Environmental, Bioman Motorsports, One-Way Triple X, Calderwood Racing, number 4C, the Macho Man, Brady Bacon. Next driver in line behind him in the Tom and Christy Dunkel owned Inland Rigging, Dunkel Farms, One Way DRC, King Racing Products, JFM, BR Motorsports number 17. He's out of Hollister, California. That is Ryan Burnell. Ryan Burnell in the number 17. So the drivers go around and buzz the racing surface here, sling some of the grease off. There's a couple more drivers to tell you about. One of them, Trey Osborne out of Columbus, Ohio, the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Jeff Hill Trailer Sales, Hidden Hoof Hollow Farms, Beachwold Automotive, Mopar Power, Triple X number 6T. Trey with quite the adventure making his way out here to the Desert Southwest. The fuel pump going awry on his Dodge pickup. Luckily, Saban Bybit and Company able to go and retrieve the parts and did the roadside swap. Able to get out here for the first time. Comes in with a pair of wins on the season. Osborne and Montpelier in May as well as in the month of August, I believe. Drake with an update.
Brian, you talked about the issues with just getting here for Trey. That's not really where it ended. He had a pretty tough go of it last night here in practice at Central Arizona Raceway. Actually broke the cam spud just a few laps into his first session. As a matter of fact, he didn't have replacement parts to fix that cam spud. A bunch of teams coming together to make sure Trey fully finishes the weekend here at Central Arizona. It was a lot of work for him earlier in the day. That 6T is up and rolling. It's where we go green, Brian.
First flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps underway. This will be the first of 5. Which, don't forget, you still have time to establish your Dirt Draft lineup, get your lead set up and ready to go here tonight. You're going to go under caution here. J.J. Yaley, so far the only driver in the 17-second bracket, a 17.674 for Mr. Christopher Beltran Hernandez Yaley. Kyle Cummins second quick right now with an 18.166. Ryan Burnell an 18.221. What they'll do now, they'll let the drivers roll around where they see fit. Give them a few laps under caution here to roll the track, then we will set them loose one more time. course, remember, when you can't be there live, you can catch all the action with all 3 national divisions of the United States Auto Club exclusively on FloRacing. Since 2019, that is where you've been able to find all the action with the United States Auto Club. One of the great benefits, that is all a part of the Flow Sports Network, so not only can you catch great auto racing with the series like the United States Auto Club, but the Kubota High Limit Series, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. In fact, looking right now, they have the American Late Model Ironman Series on Flow. You've got Marshalltown Speedway. The IMCA Harvest Hustle is live on Flow. They've got Enduro Cross. You've got the NARC Series racing this weekend as well. USAC West Coast Midgets, it's Ventura, also going to be in action. You can catch that on Flow. So remember, when you can't be there live, you can see it all on FloRacing. So drivers getting instruction over the receiver communication system. Go ahead and get spread out. They're going to get just a few more laps here to kind of get the track a little wider, a little more ironed out. Once we wrap up with Dirt Draft Hot Laps, we'll go into Honest Abe Roofing qualifying again earlier. A little bit more money on the line here. Cody Quarles kicking in $100. Woodland Auto Display, who is the normal QuickTime sponsor with the USAC CRA Series presented by Avante Windows and Doors, as well as WC Frenco, all kicking in money. All told, $450 to be tonight's Honest Abe Roofing for qualifiers. Checkered flag for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. The track picking up considerable speed. Trey Osborne, 16.055, going to the top of the charts. Brady Bacon, 16.057. Kyle Cummins, a 16.189. David Gasper, a 16.275. And Kevin Thomas Jr., fifth quick at a 16.448. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2 about to make its way out to the racing surface. Sprint cars wrapping up this weekend, but we still have racing yet to come with the United States Auto Club. We're talking USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship action. You going to make your way to California?
I have not been to California in quite some time. Not going to make it this year, unfortunately. I just got back on announcing Central Arizona Raceway, so I'll be here basically the entire month of November. We have like 4 more dates in November to close it out, close out the season. Then I get December off, so if anybody's racing in December, let me know.
Yeah, but you're back into it in January. Start things off at Placerville with the Hangtown 100, November 14th and 15th. Plaza Park, November 19th. Thunderbolt Raceway, November 21st. The Chase Johnson Classic at Merced on November 22nd. The Jason Leffler Memorial at the Bakersfield Speedway at Kern County. That'll be on the 25th. And, of course, it all rounds out with the Turkey Night Grand Prix, Ventura Raceway, Ventura, California. They're about to battle it out on the beach. November 29th, that'll be the final USAC event of the 2025 season. Again, if you can't be there live, you can catch it all on FloRacing.
And I'm sure we'll be watching on FloRacing. Jason Rominger usually has his phone up and rocking and rolling while we're up here announcing and semi-scoring.
You can see those shoes from here. If you ever see orange shoe photography, that's who we're talking about up here. I had a chance to talk to him on the Facebook Live last night. He was down taking pictures. We told him, all right, put your race director cap on. Tell me what you would tell him, where to go, what to do here. Great talking to him. We had Rizzy, who is our tech director with the United States Auto Club down there, a very accomplished crew chief. Again, talking to him, hey, if you're a crew chief, what are you telling this driver? He's never been here. You're getting a look at him. So really good to get some of that insight as Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2 makes its way onto the speedway. checking out the 73B rolling down the back straightaway. That driver coming to us out of El Cajon, California. Driver the AM Ortega, Kistler Maxim chassis. Tyner Hurst Enterprises, number 73B. That is Braden Shiramonte in the 73B, rolling over in turns 3 and 4. Driver in 97 over in turn number 3. He's out of Peoria, Arizona. Driver the Apache Transport. CSI, paint by Steve. JH Racing. The Shed Shop Grooming, number 97. That is Connor Lundy. Connor Lundy in the number 97. Driver rolling around at the front straightaway. Talking about the red machine here. Looks like the 98B possibly of Brecken Guerrero out of Lakeport, California. The Doug's Auto Buddy Shaver DRC chassis. Bill's Jerky, number 98B. Driver in 73 out of Simi Valley, California. Cole Wakeham driving the Quick Change Products, One-Way Power, XXX, Liquid Energy Drink, Surecan Inland Rigging. Number 73 as the field will come to life. And Dirt Drive Hot Lap Session number 2. Stevie Sussex out of Tempe, Arizona. The Lifestyle Homes Parallax Group Stanton Maxim chassis. Number 17 bolting onto the back straightaway. Oh, look out. They are nearly tapping tires on the back straightaway. The 19 tried to sneak to the outside. That was Mitchell Moles, and that door closed quickly. The 3M of Marty Hawkins, the Santa Rosa, California driver, up the racetrack now. Slides are wide, and Mole's going to try to work to the inside. This is all going on during hot laps here. Mole's going to try to clear quickly here. So you can get a few more solid laps and a little better twist in tune on that machine. We got the 98B and the 98V on track. Identical looking cars. Vern Sweeney out of Lomita, California. The Doug's Auto Body, Champion Fuels, Steelmate. Number 98V also out on the racing surface. Stevie Sussex the third, a 15.895. He will jump to the top of the speed charts, and that is just a hair off of the Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA track record held by R.J. Johnson. That was established here back on April 12th, a 15.730. CRA with their track record will establish a national track record for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship this evening. Braden Shiramonte currently second quick. Trey Osborne, Brady Bacon, and Kyle Cummins now fifth quick as Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session at number 3 will begin to make its way out onto the racing surface. The Bull, Ty Mahako out of Peoria, Arizona. The Dave Wilson Special, the Race Shack Apex, paint by Steve, FK Indy. Steph the Excavating, number 5, making his way over onto the back straightaway as he'll lead things off here for Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session at number 3. Next driver in line making his way to the exit of turn number 2. He is a rookie contender here in the Western world, a 24-time winner on the season in late model, stock car, and micro competition. He's out of Chandler, Arizona, the Avante Windows and Doors Apache Transport, Stanton Sherman Race Cars number 20 RT. We're talking about Ricky Thornton Jr., Ricky Thornton in the 20 RT. Isaac Chappell in the 6W. Second time this year we've seen him. Butler Motor Speedway up in Michigan. The other time in the Mike Martin Racing, BGG Enterprises, S&M Construction, Marty Wilcox Power, DRC, Chapel Hall Racing Team number 6W. Despite a limited schedule this season, was still able to pick up a win with the Great Lakes Traditional Sprints at Mount Pleasant Speedway earlier this year. Driver in 11 here on the front straightway. He's out of Pleasant Hill, Ohio, the Western States Profiling. Donna DRC, Metro Engineering and Surveying. Kevin Turner, Greg Wheeler on number 11C. That is Matt Westfall. Matt Westfall in the number 11C. Used to seeing this driver back in the state of Indiana. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona originally. The Benz Asphalt, the Blind Man, B&B Farms, Quick Time Electric, Kistler Maxim 0G. This is Kyle Shipley. Kyle Shipley in the 0G, the Black Gold Motorsports entry. The number 86 machine going to come to speed over into turn number 1 at Lucas Grove, Oklahoma. The Avante Windows and Doors, PristineAuction.com, NOS Energy, CB Industries, Stanton Spike, number 86. The newly named driver for the KKR team with the Kubota High Limit Series next year. We're talking about Dason Pursley. Dason Pursley will be behind the wheel of the KKR number 9 in the 2026 season. Of course, getting a wild moderately successful weekend with the Four Crown National sweeping the USAC portion of the event. Back in the non-wing sprint car here tonight for CB Industries. The 19 of Hayden Reinbold, the Gilbert, Arizona racer, the AME Electrical, standing spike number 19 at speed over into turns 3 and 4. We go from the green, the white, and the checkered about to be displayed as the 21K of Kobe Simpson at speed at the bottom of Texas, the B-Town Automotive number 21K. And one more driver to tell you about, currently at the top of the charts, that is Logan Calderwood. Calderwood right now with a 15.387, the MP Environmental Black Magic Beat Breaker, Raceway Triple X chassis, number 6. So Calderwood making his way out of turn number 4, 15.387. That is well under the USAC CRA presented by Avante Windows and Doors track record unofficially right now at a 15.387. Dason Persley at 15.499. Isaac Chappell at 15.639. Ricky Thornton Jr. at 15.655. And Ty Mahako with a 15.686 right now as your 5 quickest drivers. Hayden Reinbold, Kobe Simpson, Matt Westfall, Stevie Sussex III, and Braden Chiramonte currently make up the top 10. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 4. Said to make its way out to the racing surface. First driver to talk about is out of Lakeside, California. Driver of the Sexton Fire Protection, Shaver, Triple X Chassis, Key Brothers Racing, Automated Interiors, number 44. That is Brent Sexton in the number 44. He has been competing in the Western world since 1994. He's at Buckeye, Arizona. Driver of the MP Environmental, Black Magic Bead Breaker, Spider Crane, Indy Race Parts, AMA Electrical, FK Indy number 47. It's charging Charles Davis Jr. Charles Davis Jr. in the number 47. Next driver rolling on to the back straightaway. Is the 4, Justin Granted of Ione, California. The NOS Energy Drink, KBV Logistics, Kistler Maxim, Indy Custom Stone number 4. He'll make his way over into turns 3 and 4. A little bit of a scare last night for the driver to Greenfield, Indiana. The Curb Records, Kodiak Products, Oakcraft Elegant Cabinetry, Team Arizona, Quebec, Jane Racer number 21AZ. CJ Leary to Greenfield, Indiana. In hot laps, the oil filter actually coming off of the car, and the reason being the part that it actually threads up onto broke, sending the oil filter flying and the oil pressure dropping. Luckily, was able to get the car shut down while it still had some oil left in it, still had oil pressure, but being on the safe side, knowing that a metal part inside of the engine did come apart, and again, losing that oil pressure the way they did go ahead and pull that engine out, put a fresh bullet beneath the bonnet, but they think so far they were able to keep damage to a minimum on the number 21AZ last night. James Turnbull, the second out of Indio, California. The Barrasas Heating and AC, Van Dyne Power, DRC, RS Drywall. James Yost Tile, number 2J, making his way over into turns 3 and 4. A couple of trips out to the state of Indiana in the 2025 season. Looking here to the front straightaway, we've got Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Schneider & Sons Recycling, number 39. We also have last night's overall quickest driver and your most recent winner with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship out of Anaheim, California, the Inland Rigging, Snake Enterprises, Darty Motorsports, CK Enterprises, Burris Racing, Rolls Scaffolding, number 5T. That is Jake Swanson in the 5. Getting a look at Briggs Danner, just talking about him. That Oshucks Roast to Corn Boulevard Truck Repair, Hogue Racing Enterprises, number 39, one of our Western World Rookie of the Year contenders. Cars beginning to come to speed here in Dirt Drive Hot Lap session number 4. Getting a look at the 42 machine. Max Adams out of Loomis, California. The Murray's Body Shop. Barn Systems Incorporated. Wood Chevrolet, DRC. Pendleton Farms. Dwight Cheney owned. Number 42. 57 on track. Logan Seavey out of Southern California. The Mount Mechanical Contractors. Indy Power Sports. Stanton DRC Chassis. Forecheck Marketing. Abacus Racing. Number 57. Oh my, just about having some contact over in turns at 3 and 4. Sexton back into the racetrack, and Turnbull was right there. Thought he was going to sail over the right rear for a second. CJ Leary right now to the top of the charts at a 15.2 at 97. So 15.297 for C.J. Leary. Second quick right now, Jake Swanson at 15.346. Logan Calderwood, 15.387. Justin Grant at 15.423. And Briggs Dannery, 15.425. Bursley, Adams, Chappell, Thornton, and Charles Davis currently we get the top 10. Final flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps, Eddie Orville into California. We're looking at Austin Williams in the inland rigging, Maxima Oil, one-way DRC chassis. Dunkel Farms, Osborne Speed and Machine, number 17W, making his way around to the exit of turn number 4. The 007 out of Tucson, Wayne Siddle, driving the Arizona Affordable Diesel Tech, Gertie Powered Maxim chassis. 007 going to make his way around to the front straightaway. Dayton Shelton out of Prescott, Arizona. The Shelton & Associates, Price Right Auto Sales, Temperature Control Incorporated, Chevrolet XXX4D, making his way around to the front straightaway. Rolling over to turn number 3, another one of our Western World rookie contenders out of Columbus, Indiana, driving the Midwest 2 Mills, Superior Ag, Stanton Flea RC, S&C Machine, King Racing Products, number 5G. That is Gunnar Setzer going for the Whiz Kid. In honor of Eric Wilkins, that is the name of the Western World Rookie of the Year award. Saban Byman out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the Epoxy Systems International, Glenn Farms, J&D XXX number 98, the running man, making his way over to turns 1 and 2. Chase Stockton out of Fort Branch, Indiana, driving the Moose Racing, Brown Brothers Excavating, Kistler DRC Chassis, Lucas Oil Center, Daywig Meats number 92. Makes his way over into turns 1 and 2 right now. 2017 champion of the Western World. Always an interesting look for Eddie Tafoya Jr., the inverted headers on the specialty fasteners. Ryder DRC Chassis, BR Motorsports, King Racing Products, Owner's Insurance Agency number 51T. He rolls onto the back straightaway. A couple of more drivers to tell you about. The 17X, one of those drivers, that is Blake Bauer out of Brentwood, California, the inland rigging, Maxima Oil, number 17X. At speed here. The 41 of Ricky Lewis is also on track out of Oxnard, California. The Superior Tank and Trailer, Stinson DRC, the Single Valley Transportation, Maine Motorsports. Number 41, he makes his way onto the front straightaway. Currently in the title hunt for the USAC CRA Series, presented by Avante Windows and Doors. The driver that leads that series is also on track. We're talking about R.J. Johnson out of Levine, Arizona. The Avante Windows and Doors, Apache Transport, Stan Sherman Race Cars, number 33P. A lot of fire over the side of the number 41. As she's got oil billowing out here. Checkered flag is out, and C.J. Leary will remain at the top of the charts with a 15.297. Jake Swanson, who was the fastest last night, picked up that extra $1,000 by doing so at a 15.346. Logan Calderwood, 15.387. Ricky Lewis, a 15.410. And Justin Grant, fifth quick at a 15.423. Honest Abe Roofing, America's reliable roofer, will present the Fast Qualifying Award in all 3 USAC national divisions throughout the 2025 season. Honest Abe has been installing, repairing, and maintaining residential roofs since 2005, and they want to give you the perfect roof to protect your home and keep you comfortable. Honest Abe provides the fastest service in the roofing industry, and they're supported the fastest driver and qualifications. Visit honestaberoofing.com today to schedule your free roof inspection. Again, $150 from Honest Abe. Cody Corals kicking in $100, Woodland Auto Display $100, and at WC Friends Co. also kicking in $100. 3 cars at a time will enter the racetrack. They will get 2 laps to establish their qualifying time. The quicker of the 2, counting towards their qualifying effort. They'll have 1 lap to warm up. Green, second time by. If you have your scanner handy and you're wanting to listen to all the action, courtesy of Racing Electronics, you can do so on frequency 454.5000. So again, if you did bring your scanner, we do broadcast all of our FloRacing audio at 454.5000. Cars begin to make their way into the push lane. So we will establish a USAC national track record here tonight. The USAC CRA presented by Avante Windows and Doors. Their track record of 15.730. R.J. Johnson establishing that here back on April 12th. Unofficially well under that time right now. Leary has a 15.297. It was a 15.1 last night for the driver who was second quick in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. As the first 3 drivers going to begin to make their way out to the racing surface. First out to the clay. He is out of Princeton, Indiana. The Avante Windows and Doors, Stanton Machwa Chassis, Apache Transport number 3P. That'll be Kyle Cummins. He's going to be followed by Harley Burns out of Brazil, Indiana. Given the Snap-on Tools XXX Chevrolet powered entry and the 3V. That is Jim Van Zant out of Prescott, Arizona. The Biltmore Automotive Kistler Machwa Chassis number 3V. Van Zandt has given it a go in Western World Competition, has yet to qualify into a feature event, looking to rectify that here tonight. Kyle Cummins, of course, is the 2024 Western World Champion, running 3rd during prelim competition 1 year ago. Going to come around and he will establish the time at a 15.049, 15049 seconds. Right now the time to beat. Harley Burns at a 15.823, currently second quick. Van Zandt going to make his way around. We'll see where he lands on lap at number 1. It will be a 16.932. Cummins, second time by, a little bit slower, 15.073. Harley Burns, better, lap number 2 at 15.719. And waiting on Jim Van Zandt to make his way around with a 16.932 in his opening lap. Second time by for the 3V is going to be a little bit better, a 16.848. But right now, he is the USAC National Track Record holder. Kyle Cummins, a 15.049 second lap. Next 3 drivers out to the speedway. Brady Bacon out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. The MP Environmental, Bauman Motorsports, one-way triple chassis, Calderwood Racing number 4C. Joined by the 2 of J.J. Yaley out of Phoenix, Arizona. The Avante Windows and Doors, Stanton DRC, CK Electric, Walker Filtration, High Performance Lubricants number 2. And the 18 of David Gasper out of Santa Barbara, California. The Valley Precision Products, Shaver DRC Chassis, Brazil Ag Consulting number 18. 4 wins on the season for David Gasper. Last one coming with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series out in California. That was back on September 20th. As Brady Bacon comes around in his opening lap, the driver, the number 4C, has won 5 feature events in Western World Competition. Lap number 1 for him is a 15.231. J.J. Yaley, third quick at a 15.535. Second time around for Bacon was a little bit slower, 15.232. David Gasper currently 5th quick. He'll come around second time by. Better jumps to 4th quick at a 15.630. So Kyle Cummins remains at the top of the boards at 15.049. Brady Bacon second quick right now at a 15.231. Yaley at 15.535. Gasper at 15.630. And Harley Burns 15.719. Clearing cars down into the infield here. As our next round of cars going to be going to make their way out to the racing surface. Kevin Thomas Jr. out of Coleman, Alabama. The Inferno Armor, Majestic Electric. Rocksteady Racing number 3R going to make his way out. Ryan Burnell out of Hollister, California. The Inland Rigging, Dunkel Farms, King Racing Products, BR Motorsports, JFM number 17. Also going to roll out to the racing surface. So one of Brady Bacon's laps was interfered with. That's why he remains on the racing surface. They are going to go ahead and give him that fair qualifying attempt. He'll go ahead, take that lap, make his way down into the infield. As Kevin Thomas Jr. in the 3R coming around. Second time by will be his best attempt at a 15.30. Last year's prelim night winner ran second in the finale of Mojave Valley. Ryan Brunell ended up third quick in his run, a 15.245. Trey Osborne making his way out to the racing surface out of Columbus, Ohio, driving the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated Mopar Chevrolet chassis number 6T. Stevie Sussex the third out of Tempe, Arizona, the Lifestyle Homes, Michael Dutcher Motorsports, Big Rig Repair Service of Indiana number 17 GP, and the 98B also on track. That is Brecken Guerrero out of Lakeport, California, driving the Doug's Auto Body, Hodges Custom Homes, Bill's Jerky, Champion Fuels, Steelmate number 98B. Trey Osborne third quick in his opening lap at a 15.242. Stevie Sussex sixth quick on his opening lap at a 15.361. And Guerrero at a 17.303, currently 11th quick. Osborne coming around second time by, better, still third quick at a 15.233. Sussex second time by was a 15.280, jumps to fifth quick, and Guerrero going 10th quick, second time by, improving to a 15.993. The 19AZ out of Raisin City, California, the AME Electrical Pacific Transportation entry of Mitchell Moles rolling out to the racing surface. The 73 of Cole Wakeham out of Simi Valley, California, the Quick Change Products, Liquid Energy Drink, One-Way Triple X Chassis, Inland Bringing number 73. And the 97 of Connor Lundy out of Peoria, Arizona, the Apache Transport Mopar Powered Sherman Race Cars. CSI Paint by Steve, number 97. Warm-up lap, then green the second time by. Mitchell Moles leads the season in Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifying times. Does he add one more? He does. 15.024 quick time for Mitchell Moles. 15.024. Connor Lundy goes 11th quick. He'll drop to 12th here as Wakeham comes around to 9th at a 15.557. Lundy at 15.794. Mitchell Moles second time by, a little bit slower, 15.053. He'll stand on his opening lap at 15.024 as Wakeham improves to 8th quick at a 15.311. The new driver atop of the boards here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, and now your unofficial, or now your track record holder, if he can hold on to it, Mitchell Moles, 15.024 seconds. Another one of our Western World rookie contenders out of Santa Rosa, California, the Hedge Solution Shaver Max number 3M, Marty Hawkins on track. AJ Bender also on track out of San Diego, California, the Bender Pull and Spa, Shaver DRC, Matrix Construction Services number 21. And Vern Sweeney, the 98V, the Champion Fuels Steelmate, Rachel Guerrero own number 98V. All three of those drivers at speed and on the clock. Sweeney coming around, lap number 1 was a 16.585. Hawkins coming around 16th quick at a 16.767. AJ Bender went 13th quick. Second time around was a little bit better at 15.871. Hawkins better on his second time by a 16.504. As Ricky Thornton Jr. leads the next group of cars out to the Speedway. Driver out of Chandler, Arizona, the Avanti Windows Stanton Sherman Race Cars, Apache Transport number 20 RT. Joined by the 73B of Braden Chidamonte out of El Calhoun, California, the AM Ortega. Tyler Hurst Enterprises, Impact Safety, Slade Shock Technologies, number 73B, and the 19 out of Gilbert, Arizona. Hayden Reinbold, the AME Electrical Avanti Windows Doors, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, Stanton Spike, number 19. Ricky Thornton Jr., his first attempt here in Western World competition. Going to come around on his opening lap. He will go 10th quick at a 15.564. Hayden Reinbold 6th quick at a 15.279. And Braden Chidamonte a 15.364. Puts him 10th quick right now. Second time by for the 20 RT. We'll see if he improves. He does on time, not position, 15.497. Hayden Reinbold jumps up to 4th quick at a 15.173. And And Shitamonte ends up 10th quick. His opening lap was the better of the two, a 15:3.64. Ty Mahako out to the Speedway at Peoria, Arizona. The Tim Mahako owned the Race Shack. Apex, paint by Steve, FK Indy, Stiffy Excavating number 5. Matt Westfall, driver to Pleasant Hill, Ohio. The Western States Profiling, Donna DRC. Turner Wheeler Racing, number 11C. And the 21K, Kobe Simpson at Bonham, Texas. The B-Town Automotive Circle C Adventure, Simpson Performance Horses, number 21K. Westfall in the 11, going to come around here on his opening lap, and he will stop the clock at a 15:8.16. Ty Mahako in the 5 coming around, and he'll go 11th quick at a 15:4.41. Kobe Simpson 20th at a 16:3.89. Second time by for Westfall better, 15th quick at a 15:6.15. Ty Mahako, his second time by, he jumps to 6th quick at a 15:2.41. And the 21K, currently 17th quick at a 15:6.39, his second attempt. Better of the two. Last night's overall quickest driver on the track out of Anaheim, California, the Inland Rigging Snake Enterprises one-way DRC number 5T. That'll be Jake Swanson, joined by Logan Calderwood at a Goodyear, Arizona, the MP Environmental one-way Triple X chassis. Chuck D's Wieners at Rex's Tattoo and Massage Parlor number 6. And Dason Pursley is in Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the CB Industries Avante Windows and Doors at number 86. Pursley coming around to the wave of the white flag, bounces her off of the cushion. Lap number 1, third quick at a 15:105. Swanson coming around third quick at a 15:050. And Calderwood 14th quick at a 15:438. So two drivers chasing the top spot here. Coming around, Dason Pursley, second time, a little bit slower, 15:120. Jake Swanson coming around. He'll stand on his open lap at 15:050. And Calderwood going to 11th quick. His second time by was better, 15:290. They're still chasing Mitchell Moles, 15:024 seconds for the Reinbold Underwood Motorsports AME Electrical. Number 19 AZ, if he can hold on to it, that will be quick time number 15 on the season. Still got a ways to go here. We've got the 0G of Cal Shipley to Phoenix, Arizona. The Benz Asphalt, Black Gold Motorsports, the Blind Man Quick Time Electric 0G on track. Joined by Charles Davis Jr. to Buckeye, Arizona, the MP Environmental, Black Magic Beat Breaker, Stanton DRC chassis number 47, and Isaac Chappell at a Willow Branch, Indiana, the Mike Martin Racing number 6W. Charles Davis Jr. going 19th quick in his opening lap. Kyle Shipley 17th quick on lap number 1. And Isaac Chappell outdoing all of them on his opening lap. He goes to 16th quick. Charles Davis back to 20th, lap number 2, not better. Shipley better on lap number 2, goes to 12th quick. And quickly, Calderwood going to come around and take that lap away to 15:290. Shipley with a 15:297. And Charles Davis, his quickest lap was his first one at 15:599. Davis looks like problems on lap number 2, had a 22nd attempt. James Turnbull, the second, the 2J out of Indio, California. The Berasas Heating and AC, Van Dyne DRC RS Drive number 2J, joined by the NOS Energy MPV Logistics. Top Industries number 4, Justin Grant out of Ione, California. And the 42, Max Adams out of Loomis, California. The Barnes Systems Incorporated, Murray Body Shop number 42. Justin Grant coming around to the 4-8th quick on his opening lap, a 15:219. Max Adams goes 18th quick on his opening lap, and James Turnbull currently sitting 27th on the field. See if Grant can improve second time by. He does, takes it up to 6th quick. 15:136 for the driver of the number 4, Adams. 18th, and Turnbull 27th quick. CJ Leary out to the Speedway, the driver of the Team Arizona Carpaginian Racing, Kodiak Products, Oakcraft Elegant Cabinetry number 21 AZ, the 39 of Briggs Danner of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Snyder & Sons Recycling number 39, and Brent Sexton at Lakeside, California, the Sexton Fire Protection Shaver Triple X Chassis, Key Brothers Racing number 44. Briggs Danner coming around his opening lap, 10th quick for the driver of the number 39, CJ Leary, 4th quick in the number 21 AZ. jumps up the charts. And Brent Sexton currently 35th quick, a 17.379. Danner picking up one more, goes to 10th quick, a 15.210. Leary, his opening lap will be the best attempt at 15.082. And Sexton, second time by, better goes to 32nd quick with a 16.462. Just a handful of drivers remain. Logan Seavey out of Southern California, the Mountain Mechanical Contractors, dropped by Stanton DRC, Four-Check Marketing, Abacus Racing, number 57. Joined on track by Wayne Siddle out of Tucson, Arizona, the Arizona Affordable Diesel Tech, Gertie Maxim 00, and 17W, Austin Williams out of Yorba Linda, California, the Inland Bringing Maximum Oil, Kaiser, One-Way DRC, Dunkel Farms, number 17W. Seavey in the 57 coming around, opening lap 5th quick at a 15.089. Austin Williams 15.723, 30th quick. And Siddle 37th at a 16.746. Seavey coming around, second time by, improves, goes to 4th quick at a 15.072. Austin Williams jumps up to 22nd quick at a 15.426. And Siddle does pick up a couple of spots, goes to 34th quick on his second time by. Driver the number 5G out to the speedway. Another one of our Rookie of the Year contenders here. Not only in the Western world, but also with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. Gunnar Setzer in the Midwest 2 Mills, Superior Ag, Davis Brothers, Stanton Fleet RC, number 5G. Joined on track by Blake Bauer, the number 17X out of Brentwood, California. The Inland Bringing, Maximum Oil, One-Way DRC, Dunkel Farms, number 17. And Eddie Tafoya Jr., Scream in the number 51T out of Chino Hills, California. The Specialty Fasteners, BR Motorsports, number 51. Gunnar Setzer in the 5 coming around in his opening lap. He will stop the clock 31st quick. Eddie Tafoya goes 26 quick on his opening lap, and the first time by for Blake Bauer. He is 31st currently. Bauer with a 15.692. Second time by for Gunnar Setzer, better. He will jump up to 22nd quick at a 15.425. Tafoya second time by, 15.485. Next group of cars out to the speedway. Your current Avante Windows Doors USAC CRA points leader R.J. Johnson to Levine, Arizona. The Petty Performance Avante Windows Doors Stanton Sherman Race Cars. Juco Superfoods RJR Suspension number 33P has made his way out to the speedway. Joined by Dayton Shelton, the number 4D out of Prescott, Arizona. The Shelton & Associates Chevrolet XXX number 4, and the 98 is Saban Byman out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The Epoxy Systems International J&D Chevrolet XXX Chassis Byman Landscaping, number 98. R.J. Johnson, first time by. Was 39th quick. Dayton Shelton, 40th quick. And R.J. Johnson, second time around, 33rd for the 33. Saban Byman improves on his second lap, goes to 26 quick in the number 98. And Dayton Shelton opening lap better for him. Byman, second time by, was a 15.525. R.J. Johnson, a 15.7 on his second time around. And Dayton Shelton had a 16.178. Final couple of drivers out to qualify. Ricky Lewis out of Oxnard, California, the Superior Tank and Trailer Physical Medicine Consultants, Messina Valley Transportation, May Motorsports. Haley Farms, number 41, and the 92 of Chase Stockin out of Fort Branch, Indiana. The Brown Brothers Excavating, Moose Racing, Daywick Meats, Lucas Oil Center, number 92. Stockin, Latin number 1, 20th quick at a 15.351. Ricky Lewis, 39th quick at a 15.930. Stockin in the 92, the 2017 Western World Champion, his last feature appearance in 2019 at Arizona Speedway. Stockin coming around, second time better, 15th quick, and Ricky Lewis also improving up to 36th. So cars down to the infield. The Fleeto four-wheeler is going to make their way down to retrieve their drivers. Back gate will open up, and that'll wrap up Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Fifth quick tonight was C.J. Leary. Fourth quick was Logan Seavey. Third quick was Jake Swanson. Second quick was Kyle Cummins. And for the 15th time in 2025, he is your Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifier. He comes here to Raisin City, California, the AME Electrical, Basie Valley Transportation, Kaiser, Reinbold, Underwood Motorsports of 19 race fans. Give him a hand, Mitchell Moles. And with that, he ties Kevin Thomas Jr., who held the record in 2018. 15 overall this year. He's going to get a word with Christy Bemis.
Yeah, we were just having that conversation for Mitchell Moles. Kind of a bummer to end up with a tie for Kevin Thomas Jr. for most fast time awards in one season. But all in all of that success and all of that speed, what's it say about your season with Reinbold Underwood Motorsports?
Yeah, we've been good all year. It's tough to go quick time and start sixth and win. That's the goal every night, and they're going to work on the track, I think, a little more right now. But, I mean, it says about my partners, my team, my guys, Andy and Tammy are great car owners, and with Spike Chassis and Stanton engines are a big part of why we go so well. So FK Shocks, obviously everybody over there at AME Electrical, and I'm sure we have a few employees in this crowd tonight, being it's a home game. So thank you to all them, and thank you to all you great fans for coming out and supporting. Jerry Avanti's put a lot of money into this place, and he's made it really nice. So hopefully we can go back to the trailer and work on the car a little bit and get through this heat race and go make some money.
Yeah, I think nobody is more excited about the revival of the Western World Championship than all of the Team Arizona car owners that are in the pit area and that travel all year with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Series. Andy Reinbold being one of the few guys that has some good experience at this racetrack. How much is that going to benefit you this weekend?
Yeah, we were talking about it on the way down here, like never seeing the racetrack and just coming out and making laps and being up to pace. I had to do it a lot in my career, just being from California. A lot of tracks are different, and he had some advice for me, and it's desert racing, so I think the features are more tricky than anything. So go back, like I said, go back to the drawing board, and I'm sure they're going to work the track because it's slick over there. But like I said, I can't thank Jerry Avanti enough for putting it back. It's the Western World, baby.
Mitchell Moles is going to take a shot at it here this weekend for the Western World Championships. He is your Honest Abe Roofing fast qualifier tonight. A couple of CRA sponsorships also on that qualifying award with Woodland Auto Display and WC Frenco.
We still have some hot laps to go here. The 360 is going to make their way out, so kids, your instruments are going to get a little dirt in them. So you were in the splash zone, but you're okay where you're at. So Mitchell Moles, the third time this season, he has established a track record with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. And overall, 13 track records set. San Chevrolet Wild West Sprint Car is going to be making their way out again. This is the 360 division. They operate under an ASCS engine package. And last night, early on, they were within about 0.6 of a second. Of course, as the night went on, you saw that gap start to open up. I believe 4 groups of hot laps is what you have. They should. We'll verify hot lap by heat race order.
Jason, heat race order? No heat race order tonight. Couple of guys doing double duty and everything, so drivers switching over, so they'll make it out 10 at a time, I believe, is what we're going to do. Maybe one will have
kind of
11.
the norm, but not quite.
Exactly. So still getting some of those Sand Chevrolet Sprint Car Series cars down in staging. Some of the drivers getting swapped over from their 410s. Getting over here. Like I said, 41 360s checked in tonight. They will have 4 heat races tonight, going by passing points. Be top 20 in passing points will all make the main event from the heat races. Then we'll have our B main with 4 drivers' advance from that to our 25-lap main event this evening.
So drivers getting instruction over the receiver one-way communication to roll wherever they see fit once they make their way out to the racing surface. Green, white, checkered hot laps for your Sand Chevrolet Wild West 360 sprint cars. So you'll find USAC action on Race Monitor. You will find the 360 division on My Race Pass. Joshua Shipley, one of the drivers who was set to run double duty, unfortunately getting upside down in his 410 last night. Once they got into the pits, realized the bottom side of the car was caved in after getting upside down in turn number 1. Austin Irvin, old Swervin' Irvin, coming out to the speed with number 21, and Caleb Stelzik in the number 21X was the hard charger at Dodge City Raceway Park. A little bit of a snafu at the start of the main event at Route 66 Motor Speedway, brought his 360 to bear against the 410s. Dalen Pereira, the number 21P, out to the speedway, and Grant Sexton in the number 22.
Brody Wake makes his way out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. I believe we're going to take the first 10 cars as Racing Silva comes out in the Silva Racing 5S.
What a name.
Got a couple of Hawaii drivers in the field tonight, our 360 class. At one point last year, we had, I believe, 18 cars showed up to Sholo. I think 9 of them were all from Hawaii, so.
Wee Man, Josh Pelkey in the number 12. Out to the speedway as well. The Buffalo Wild Wings number 57. Chaz Baca behind the wheel, the number 57. When I think about that car, of course, I think of old Steve Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's been roaming around the pits.
Saw the Stoner down there. Took him about 2 minutes to already say he hates something. But Chaz Baca getting his feet wet over here on the sprint car side. I think it's, of course, a IMCA modified Arizona state champion. Just a few years ago. Been running a lot of the Midwest stuff this year for the IMCA modified. So always good to see Chaz Baca and his dad back here. Of course, his dad has been racing an IMCA modified the last couple of weekends out here at Central Arizona Raceway.
So again, these drivers will have a green, white, checkered hot lap session. Let them roll around, get a little bit of heat in the engines here before we set them loose. Buffalo Wild Wings, of course, is one of the proud sponsors of this weekend's racing action. Said earlier, they've been feeding us down there. The diet is shot, but it's worth it.
Totally worth it. Stop in to B-Dubs every Saturday. I come to the racetrack. There's a B-Dubs right at the corner. Down the road. I stop there every Saturday before.
So you're paying the light bill is what you're saying.
Catch a little college football action. Grab the sampler. That's where it's at. You get 4 things for like $15.
Not bad. $30K out to the speedway. Dan Klinder, I believe.
Yep, Dan Klinder. This is Johnson Racing Hollywood Towing entry. Klinder out of Phoenix. Of course, a lot of Arizona natives in the Sand Chevrolet 360 class. But also got some drivers doing double duty, splitting time with the National Division in here. So see a couple names that we don't normally see. this first hot lap session. Brittany Wake to the top of the charts. Actually, no, Caleb Stelzig, 16.359. 16.359 for Caleb Stelzig. Brittany Wake. Second quick, 16.665. Chaz Baca Jr., 16.793. As he just jumped to the top of the charts on his second lap, 16.338 for Chaz Baca. So Baca, Stelzig, Wake, Sexton, Pelkey, your top 5 in that first hot lap session. Top 4 all in the 16-second bracket. So second group of hot laps coming out. And first car on the racetrack heading turn number 1. That is going to be the LRA Equipment Services Schaefer's Oil Waddell Racing Engines 7-0 out of Safford, Arizona, Brian Ledbetter Jr. So it looks like the 14 of Blake Hendricks has taken to the track in his Makina Coffee Snap-on Tools entry out of Simi Valley, California. Third driver out from Moore Park, California, in the Diamond Lake Minerals Inc. Blood Racing Lubricants Paint by Steve, the Race Shack number 0. That is Jonas Reynolds. And one of the drivers doing double duty just took to the racetrack in the Apache Transport Avanti Windows and Doors RJR Suspension, the Shed Shop Grooming 97 out of Peoria, Arizona is Connor Lundy. Lundy bringing his car off at turn number 2 now. As Alex Herrera comes to the racetrack of Nukayama, California, the J3H Cattle Company All-American Drilling, Yama Buckhorn, Santa Barbara Pistachio, number 5E. Also on track in the 10X out of Tucson, Arizona, the Ed Power Racing entry. That is George Zills, excuse me. That is the 39T out of Congress, Arizona, Flow One Plumbing, Next Gen Landscaping. Creation in Thread, the Miss DeGatton. That is 39T of Troy DeGatton. Also see the 8AZ out there of Jordan Stetson. Jordan Stetson out Tucson, Arizona. Stetson Racing, SWS Chassis, Hunts Race World, Simpson K1, 8AZ. I believe that is all the cars that are coming out. So, oh, nope, got one more sneaking on. BJ Fernandez. The number 87 MRC Construction, the Race Shack. Mike Waddle Engines, 87. Another one of our Hawaii drivers. So drivers are being told to spread it out. We will go green-white checker, our second hot lap session of the night for our San Chevrolet 360 Sprint cars. George Zills almost go around off of turn number 4 without opening lap for him. As BJ Fernandez fastest so far, 17.459 for Fernandez in the 87. You got Brian Ledbetter, 17.573. Connor Lundy, 17.809 for his first lap. His checker flag flies on hot lap session number 2. Connor Lundy up to the top of the boards. 16.476. 16.476 for the driver of the 97, Connor Lundy. So Connor Lundy, fastest overall, 16.476 from the 2 hot lap sessions we've had so far with the Chevrolet Sprint Car Series. BJ Fernandez, second fast in that hot lap session, 17.440. Brian Ledbetter Jr., third quick, 17.573 with a 17.579 for Jordan Stetson, and Blake Hendricks, 17.842.
.81K, Ricky Kinney Jr. has made his way out to the racing surface. Have another driver sneaking up the push lane here. The radio flyer, Bruce St. James, behind the wheel of the number 7X, going to make his way out onto the speedway.
And that's the original paint scheme when I first started announcing in Arizona that Bruce St. James had. So always good to see Bruce back at a racetrack. Got back on the air out here in Arizona. Had a little brief stint in Chicago. He's back filling up your ears with some nonsense on afternoons, KTAR.
James Webster, the 5AZ, also out of speedway. Eugene Thomas in the 10. RJ Johnson, the 33P. Brent Yarnell in the number 29 is also rolled out to the racetrack.
.4D of Dayton Shelton. Heading off into turn number 1.
Yvonne windows the doors number 86, Dason Pursley. CB Industries entry out to the speedway. Number 51 rolling out to the speedway, Ronald Webster in the 51W. Getting a look at Yarnell's Big Max, number 29.
Caden Clark, the last driver, I believe, to hit the track before we get going. And the black number 6.
If you're just joining us on the FloRacing broadcast, San Chevrolet Wild West 360 Sprint Cars on track. We have wrapped up Honest Abe Roofing qualifying for the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship, where Mitchell Moles was tonight's Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifier, tying Kevin Thomas Jr.'s 2018 record at 15 quick time qualifying runs on the season. And not only was he your quick qualifier, he also established now the USAC National Sprint Car track record. His third of the season. That time was a 15.024 second lap.
Drivers in hot lap session number 3 coming across the stripe to get their white flag. RJ Johnson right now tops the chart, 16.763 for the 33P. Dayton Shelton second, Kenny Jr. Fourth quick now, Dayton Shelton's up ahead of him, third quick. Jason Pursley, 16.204 goes to the top of the charts. That's the fastest overall so far. The 3 hot lap sessions we've had here tonight for your San Chevrolet Wild West Sprint Car Series. RJ Johnson second quick that group with 16.763. Dayton Shelton 16.927. That's going to be Ricky Kinney Jr. 17.541. Ronald Webster rounds out your top 5 with a 17.941. Eugene Thomas, Brent Yarnell, Caden Clark. Looks like the transponder was not picking up on the 5AZ of James Webster. And then there was one. Last group before we get into our opening ceremonies here tonight for night number 1 of the 58th running. The Western World Championships here at Central Arizona Raceway. And Brian, did you ever make it out here in your times past?
I came out, I remember visiting the track. This is the first time I've ever seen cars on track, so this is surprisingly a new track for me.
And it looks a whole lot different than last time you came out here.
The last time I was here, just stopped, took a look at the racetrack. There was no wall, none of the signs were around it. It shelved off, and watching videos, especially when Benji Lyons was a promoter out here, would do the big modified shows. Rarely could they get off of the bottom, especially late in the night, and if they did get to the top, they just sailed off the top of this thing.
I remember times I was announcing drivers would just exit turn 2. They're like, running in second. Well, he's somewhere out there. Just see a rooster tail flying up through the air. But Jerry Petty, Brad Whitfield, they did a lot of work to this place the last year, and it has paid off. And we are excited to have you guys out here with us for the 50th running of the Western World Championships.
Wayne Siddle in the saddle of the 007. AJ Hernandez in the 72.
Lonnie Hochstetler in the 31H. JJ Yaley in the 2. One of our double-duty drivers back out on the racetrack. In the 22 AZ, Lonnie Oliver also on track as well.
Good to see Lonnie in the pits earlier.
As Brady Bacon comes out on the racetrack.
I have to remind myself, no, that is not RJ.
Yes. Many years saw RJ Johnson driving the number 51. Martin Auto Museum, Pecan Builders machine.
Father, the car owner on that machine.
The great Ricky Johnson.
Briggs Danner jumping behind the wheel, the MP Environmental number 6 machine. Kevin Thomas Jr. behind the wheel, the number 15.
And the 21S of David Gasper, driving the Sean Deskins Racing entry tonight. Sean's going to run tomorrow night.
So that's another one you have to remind yourself, not Sean tonight.
Also, I do want to say, a little quick announcement, doing a little raffle this weekend. Of course, we lost the great Manzanita promoter Keith Hall earlier this year. His daughter Tracy is sitting right below us, actually, Brian. And she has a Manzanita Speedway pit shirt signed by all the drivers that are here this weekend that raced at Manzanita Speedway in a sprint car. So a lot of autographs on that thing. She's raffling off $10 for raffle tickets. She'll be right here below us, but I think she's going to go down to where old flags stand was.
One of the tracks I was really glad to make it to before it unfortunately was shut down. 2006, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars in action at Manzanita. The following night, we were at USA Raceway in Tucson, Arizona. And incidentally, that was also the weekend we lost Ted Johnson.
Lap times coming in for this final hot lap session of the night. Briggs Danner, 16.201. KTJ, Kevin Thomas Jr., that number 15. Motorsports entry, 16.434. Second quick so far. All by AJ Hernandez, 16.607, 16.627 for JJ Yaley, and Stevie Sussex, 16.786 so far as checker flag flies. On a final car, getting a lap in, Lonnie Oliver moving up a little bit, 17.616, eighth quick in that group. So Briggs Danner, Kevin Thomas Jr., AJ Hernandez, JJ Yaley, Stevie Sussex all finding some speed in hot lap session number 4, our final hot lap session of the night. It was Brady Bacon, Wayne Siddle, Lonnie Oliver, Lonnie Hochstetler, and David Gasper.
So I have just a little bit of time here as the marching band begins to make its way out to the front straightaway.
Just always have loved the pageantry involved with the Western World Championships. And, you know, when Brad Whitfield said we're going to make the Western great again, I think he's done it.
Between him and Jerry Petty is amazing the work they have done at this racetrack. Not only that you see out on the racing surface, everything they've done out there, but also you got the Manzanita Pavilion down here and all the amenities they have added to this facility. The new flag stand, very reminiscent of what we see up at Kokomo. Speaking of Kokomo, Reese is walking around here. I know he's helping out on some of the track prep here this evening. For those of you just joining us in the grandstands and on the FloRacing broadcast, qualifying hot laps all in the books for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship, as well as your San Chevrolet Wild West 360 sprint cars. Just waiting for the thumbs up from promoter Brad Whitfield down there so we can get things rolling here tonight. A couple of more elements getting ready to go. As with that, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask that you please rise for tonight's invocation and national anthem. If you would please remove cover. In honor of those who serve this nation and in respect of those who have given their lives in her defense, we turn now to the playing of tonight's national anthem performed by the Legacy Traditional School Band here in Casa Grande. And ladies and gentlemen, remain standing for our invocation. Racers for Christ Chaplain Ron Brackeen.
Father, we thank you for this time that everybody can be here. We thank you for all the drivers, all their families. And Lord, we thank you for everyone who works this track, Lord. We also want to thank you right now for all those that have served and are serving today to keep us free. And Lord, we just ask you to give them good races today. We give this to you in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the prayer has been said. The anthem has been played. The Western world is back. It is bigger and better than ever. Race fans, are you ready for night number 1 of the Western world? Speedway, a little splash of water here onto the push lane. One of the unique features here, not many racetracks that we go to. In fact, Action Track USA is the only one I can think of during the 2025 season where they enter between the track and the grandstands. In the case of Action Track USA, that's about the only place on the property you could actually make it happen.
And what a vastly different racetrack compared to this one is Action Track USA. So two completely different.
Action Track USA would fit inside of the infield track.
2 of them, maybe.
We got Rizzy down here setting the land speed record on putting stripes on the concrete. Letting the drivers know where the track ends and where the concrete begins. We'll have 5 heat races this evening for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. Of course, tonight's racing action co-sanctioned with your Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA Series. Car IQ presenting heat race number 1 along with being run in honor of Willie Miller Sr. and Willie Miller II, thanks to Dan Miller and Roy Miller Freight Lines for helping to support the Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA Series throughout the 2025 season. So we'll have cars in the push lane here in just a moment, ready to make their way out onto the speedway. In the heat races, top 4 going to advance on into the feature event. Everybody else going on into consolation events. 8 laps the distance. Remember, in USAC National format, your quick qualifying driver will line up at the right of row number 3. Second quick will go to 6 in heat race number 2, and so on and so forth. Once we get down all the way to the 5th fastest driver, being C.J. Leary, starting the outside of that 3rd row, we'll jump back up to the first heat. Then we'll start the inside of that 3rd row, and we'll continue that all the way up until everybody outside of the inversion will finally take their place, starting with the 7th starting spot in heat race number 1.
And of course, every finishing position through tonight is very important for tomorrow's lineup, as tonight's top 4 finishers in the feature event are being locked into Saturday night's main event for $35,000 to win. So, of course, the better your starting spot here in these heat races, the better chance you've got at that.
Of course, that'll see the qualifiers for tomorrow. We'll take drivers out of the qualifiers. They will join those 4 drivers already locked in, and they will go into the Underwood Dash. And it's almost like an Australian pursuit type thing. They go, everybody's out there, you stop, okay, back to, they're off, you go again, okay, back to, they're off. $5,000 to earn the pole for tomorrow's championship feature event.
Yeah, so that's a really fun deal, and we get to do stuff like that pretty rarely throughout the year, so it's always fun to be able to mix up the format like that. But of course, that does mean that it's not a full national points event, and thus, obviously Kyle Cummins has already wrapped up the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Championship. We did that out at Lawrenceburg Speedway, so that story has been told, but we're going to have a lot more opportunities to celebrate that this weekend, especially for Jerry Petty, who, of course, is the man behind the mission at this event.
Just like that, Car IQ Heat Race number 1 making its way out to the Speedway. Drivers slated for the pole positions out of Chandler, Arizona. The Avanti windows the doors Apache Transport, number 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. Outside of him will be Braden Chiramonte out of El Cajon, California. The AM Ortega Kistler Maxim. Tyler Hurst Enterprises, OCC Motorsports 73B. Second row for the inside, it will be the Michael Dutcher Motorsports 17 GP of Stevie Sussex III. Next to him, it'll be Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The E. Schneider & Sons Recycling rider, number 39. Dason Pursley from 5th at Locust Grove, Oklahoma. The Avanti windows the doors, pristineauction.com. CB Industries NOS Energy Drink, number 86. And outside of him, your now track record holder here at Central Arizona Raceway at Raisin City, California. The AME Electrical Stanton Spike, number 19 AZ. That is Mitchell Moles. Matt Westfall at Pleasant Hill, Ohio. The Western States Profiling, done out DRC. Turner Wheeler Motorsports, number 11C. He'll go from the inside of number 4. Outside of him, Ricky Lewis out of Oxnard, California. The Superior Tank and Trailer, Physical Medicine Consultants, Pacific Valley Transportation, D Transport, number 41. The 007 of Wayne Siddle out of Tucson. The Arizona Affordable Diesel Tech, Gertie Maxim, 007. Will be inside of your final row with Jim Van Zant out of Prescott, Arizona. The Biltmore Automotive Kistler Mach 1, number 3V. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for this 8-lap affair in Car IQ Heat Race number 1. So Ricky Thornton Jr. in the 20 RT going for that Whiz Kid Rookie of the Year award, of course, in honor of Eric Wilkins. 24 times a winner in the season, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Dirt Car Late Models, IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, and even Micro Competition is where we have found Ricky Thornton Jr. in victory lane. His last outing at Eldora on October 18th in Late Model Competition with an 18th place run. Braden Chiramonte in the 73B. His last feature start in Western World Competition at Cocopah 2023. Ran 5th in that event. A couple of wins on the season. The King of California, Santa Maria, back on September 6th. And Antioch with the USAC West Coast Midgets. That was a co-sanctioned event with the BCRA Series. That was back on October 11th. The 17 GP, Stevie Sussex. Got a win here back in April. Ran 6th and 11th last year in Western World Competition out of Mojave Valley. As the cars begin to line up, real quick, let's check in with Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. Obviously, Mitchell Moles off to a hot start as he was your Honest Abe Roofing Quick Time Qualifier Award winner. That all-important 15th win, or rather Fast Time Qualifier Award of the season. record tying for Mitchell Bowles. When I talked to him last night after practice during the pit party, he told me, look, I've got a really good race car, maybe one of the better race cars I've had all season. And he said, as a matter of fact, Drake, I was holding back for most of practice, so we kind of got to see what that 19AZ has so far here. We'll finally get to see what it has in race conditions. Last night, that's what Mitchell told me he and the Reinbold Underwood Motorsports crew worked on the most. We'll see how it helps him here in this first heat race of the evening.
Breaks Danner for the fourth starting spot. The E. Schneider & Sons Recycling number 39, a 6-time winner on the season. Silver Crown and USAC National Sprint Car Competition combined. Another one of our Western World rookies. The two-time USAC East Coast champion going for the fourth starting spot. Dason Pursley, of course, sweeping the USAC portion of the Four Crown Nationals. He is the 2023 Western World Champion, doing so with a weekend sweep. So looking to get back into victory lane. Moles next to him, Westphal, Lewis, Siddle, and Van Zandt around to the NOS Energy start can, and night number 1 of the Western World is underway. You'll get a dash up into turns 1 and 2. Who's going to come away with the race lead? We're going to take it side by side onto the back straightaway. Thornton goes to the top, and he's got challenge coming from the inside. The 73 of Chiaramonte is there in the mix, and he's going to come around to try to lead lap number 1. Got it. Thornton trying to hold on to second. Briggs Danner coming after him in 39.
Briggs Danner quickly. Dason Pursley up into the wall, and he's over in turns number 1 and 2.
Oh my, the 2023 Western World Champion going for a wicked ride over in turns 1 and 2. Lands on his side right now, waiting for word on the driver. So getting Dason back upright in the CB Industries Avante number 86. They'll go to work on getting that car hooked up. Getting word officially, driver is okay down on the speedway. As Dason going to go ahead and crawl up out of that CB Industries number 86. One of the drivers pulling double duty here this weekend. And hopefully damage not too extensive on that number 86. He'll be able to continue that battle. Looking at the replay here on FloRacing as they make their way into turns 1 and 2. The 86 started low. That car just pushing up the racetrack like a freight train trying to turn on a gravel road. It was not happening.
It almost looked like he was trying to pass the 17 GP of Stevie Sussex when it happened. And it just sort of broke loose on him. He missed the bottom a little bit there.
Yeah, the car just going in and then sweeping out from underneath them. Not sure if maybe something in the right front gave way. We're about to find out. Let's go down to Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian and Christy. Once again, the good news, Dason Pursley up and out of the race car. Bad news is it's going off on the wrecker. And Dason, that car just slid up wildly in turn 1. What happened from your vantage point, and do you think something maybe broke?
No, nothing broke. It's just, unfortunately, the track's still a little greasy on the bottom. And you know, top 4 is very valuable in this format, and you're trying to go for it there. And Stevie washed up off of turn 4 there, and I thought I could get enough run into 1 to get by him, and then unfortunately just hit the grease and slid up the track and just didn't have enough low power to slow her down. So, you know, I hate it for all the CB Industries guys. They've been working really hard and busting butt to have 2 cars out here, and hopefully we'll get this thing fixed and see you guys in the B main.
Tough break for Dason Pursley as that car goes off on the hook. The left rear tire is flat and debeated, along with a pretty sizable bend in that drag link. So no doubt about it, that puts Dason Pursley out of the heat race, and one of the favorites in the Western World for 2025 has issues early.
Tough break. Last outing for him was with the Kubota High Limits Series. That was back on the 17th and 18th of October. The dirt track at the Texas Motor Speedway had a top 5 and a 20th place run on the weekend. 15 starts, 2 wins, 10 top 5s, a dozen top 10 finishes with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. We'll see if they can get that car pieced back together and see if he can race his way up into the show here tonight.
Yeah, and you hate to see that for Jason Pursley, especially as you mentioned, Brian, being a favorite coming into this weekend and having the opportunity to continue adding his name to a list of wins for this year across series, across various different disciplines of racing even. So tough break, but you got to love the honesty out of Jason Pursley there.
No, that's the thing, and we went in, we're kind of talking about this especially when they slowed the frame rate down. You can see the car really dig down to the right front, so at first thought maybe something had broken like a shock and it really got the car kind of dug in, but he verified now, just found the slick on the entrance on the bottom side of turn number 1. One lap officially completed. Braden Shidamante going to lead him back to green. Ricky Thornton Jr. in second. He's had Briggs Danner breathing down his neck. He'll line up in third. Stevie Sussex the third and fourth. Pursley had been running in fifth. That'll be Mitchell Moles now. Ricky Lewis going to line up in sixth. Westfall in seventh. Siddle in eighth. Van Zant in ninth. And remember, the top four is where you want to be to avoid trying to race your way in through one of the consolation events. Of course, talk about consolation events. Got the Hoosier Tire C main, and then your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. 4 move on to the C, to the semi. 4 move on from the semi into the A.
Well, that's what makes this event so tough with a high car count like that, and Jason Pursley was just alluding to it. You really don't want to have to go to those consolation events. You want to be able to lock yourself in to the main event through the heat race, which of course improves your starting position and all of those things that become valuable when you start talking about Saturday night.
So you alluded to it earlier. Full points tonight, qualifying heat races and such. Tomorrow, feature points only.
And again, the reason for that being that we have that dash in there. It's not a typical AMSL USAC National Sprint Car format.
Not getting a chance to qualify as well, so you get your points. If you're the quick qualifier, it's bonus points. Down a few from there. If you win your heat race, it's points. So wanting to make everything fair for everybody involved as we'll bring him around single file through the NOS Energy start can. Exit turn number 4. Shidamante in the 73 brings us back to green. Field going to fan out into 1 and 2. Another driver went down and found the grease, but he got to stop before he got to the wall. Battle for the race lead. The Avante windows and doors. Number 20 RT, Ricky Thornton with a good run to the back straightaway, comes around. He'll retake the top spot as he come around to cook off lap number 2.
So Ricky Thornton Jr. able to sort of recalibrate on that restart, which sort of opens the door for Briggs Danner to challenge Shidamante for the second position. Doesn't get it done this time. Going to try again here in 3 and 4.
Trying the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Have to wonder if maybe it's still just a little bit slick there all the way around the bottom side of the racetrack. He rides in that third spot. Driver trying to close on him. Stevie Sussex the third. Everybody going up to the top side here. Danner with a good run onto the back straightaway. Closes onto the back bumper of the 73B. Now going to peel down to the bottom over in turn number 3. Can't carry the speed around. Brings it back into the tire tracks. And that allows Sussex to close quickly here to the front straightaway.
Briggs Danner had kind of run that self-slider line as Sussex gets up dangerously close to the wall like we saw with Pursley. He keeps it together and is able to continue chasing Briggs Danner down the backstretch. He still hasn't let him get too far out in front of him.
Thought that wall owed him money, but he wasn't able to get up and put a slap to it here as Ricky Thornton Jr. continues to lead 1.104 seconds. After he lost the lead on the initial lap, the restart saw him get the charge on the 73B. Shidamante still running at the second spot. Briggs Danner in third. Stevie Sussex the third. Right now holding on to the final ticket into the main event. Ricky Lewis coming up to try to take it away from him.
Ricky Lewis closing very quickly. The notable one right now, Mitchell Moles, your Honest Abe Roofing Fast qualifier, sitting outside of a transfer position, struggling to keep the 41 of Ricky Lewis in his sights.
Sussex picking up the pace here, rolls her up onto the cushion at the exit turn number 4. White flag in the air. Leader working onto the back straightaway here for the final time. Going to come up on a little bit of slower traffic. That traffic going to stay down to the bottom. Ricky Thornton Jr., former sprint car winner here, comes around to pick up heat race number 1. Brought to you by Car IQ. Braden Shidamante crossing in second. Briggs Danner in third. Stevie Sussex the third takes the final transfer into the feature event. Ricky Lewis unofficially rounding out your top 5. So Car IQ Heat Race number 1 in the books, and the late model ace getting it done here in sprint car competition at Chandler, Arizona. The Avanti Windows Adora Stanton Sherman Race Cars number 20 RT. Race fans, give him a hand. Ricky Thornton Jr. Braden Shidamante in second, Briggs Danner in third, Stevie Sussex the third and fourth, Ricky Lewis in fifth, Mitchell Moles in sixth, Matt Westfall in seventh, Wayne Siddle, Jim Van Zandt, and Dason Pursley. Unofficially rounding out your field, let's check in with Drake.
Ricky Thornton Jr. in not only his AMSOIL USAC national debut, he's going to win the heat race and lock into the big dance here, night number 1 of the Western World. And Ricky, you lost the lead at the start of that race. We had that red flag. You got a chance to restart, and you immediately zipped back to the lead. What did you learn those first few laps that you applied to that restart that managed to get you back out front?
No, honestly, I just wasn't driving hard enough. I was a little too free qualifying. I didn't know if I needed to be free or tighter off the get-go, and I was just too free, so I tightened myself up a little bit. It's actually nice running a car that you have knobs in it and you have some onboard adjustments. So I got to thank everyone at Petty Performance for giving me this opportunity. All the great fans for coming out. I wish my wife was here, my 2 little boys, my little girl, but we got a lot of other family here. Being back in Arizona is pretty nice.
RTJ, Chandler, Arizona's own, doing him proud. He's your winner of Car IQ Heat Race number 1.
Thank you very much. K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 going to make its way out to the Speedway. Sabin Bybend out of Cincinnati, Ohio, another one of our Western World rookie contenders in the Epoxy Systems International. Triple X J&D Chevrolet. Bybend Landscaping number 98. Outside of him, you'll find Max Adams at Loomis, California. Driving the Murray's Body Shop, Barnes Systems Incorporated. Pendleton Farms, Dwight Cheney, number 42. Logan Calderwood out of Goodyear, Arizona. The MP Environmental, Black Magic Bead Breaker, One-Way Triple X. Chuck D's Wieners, Rex's Tattoo and Massage Parlor number 6 is going to go from third. Next to him, it's going to be tall. It's Trey Osborne out of Columbus, Ohio. The Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Mopar Triple X. Beachwold Automotive number 6T. Brady Bacon in the Calderwood, Bileman Motorsports, MP Environmental. One-Way Performance Triple X number 4C at Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He'll go from the inside of row number 3. Outside of him, it will be Kyle Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana. Driver the Avanti Windows Doors, Premier Recycling, Apache Transport, Petty Performance number 3P. David Gasper inside of row number 4 to Santa Barbara, California. The Valley Precision Products, Schaefer Power, Triple X, Certified Construction, Brazil Ag Consulting number 18. Outside of him, Harley Burns out of Brazil, Indiana. The Snap-on Tools, McKenna Coffee, Chevrolet Triple X, Tom Hendricks on number 14. And your final starter set to be Dayton Shelton out of Prescott, Arizona. The Shelton and Associates Chevrolet Triple X number 4D. Quick reminder in the grandstands, there is no smoking, there is no vaping. No smoking, no vaping in the grandstands, and you need to be 25 feet from any open door. So if you do feel the need to scratch the nicotine itch, you do need to leave the grandstands and go out behind the main seating area. And again, make sure you're 25 feet from any open door. That is the law in this part of the world. If security catches you, they'll ask you politely the first time. They will remove you the second time. So please be courteous and don't force us to ruin your evening. Again, Sabin Bybend into Cincinnati, a winner with the Boss Series in Lawrenceburg Speedway up on September 27th. Going to go from the pole position here. 42 of Max Adams at Loomis, California. Going back to the Midwest and winner with the Boss Series at Paragon back in September. Logan Calderwood in the 6. Also a Boss winner this year, Millstream back at the start of August. Trey Osborne picking up a couple of wins this year at Montpelier. Another one of our Western World rookie contenders. 4 feature starts, a pair of top 10s on the season coming into tonight for Tall. Brady Bacon in the 4C, 3 wins in the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship this season. Goes from 5th. Oh, my. Not the way to start.
Something happened.
A little bit of hopping and skipping. And we'll get a look at what happened here. The FloRacing replay coming up. And coming around to the start. And over the left sides of Adams and the number 42 goes Bybin. And lucky, he didn't go upside down, actually.
You know who else is lucky is Brady Bacon.
Yeah. Putting the sizzle on the brakes on that thing. So Saban going to line himself behind the 8-ball a little bit here as we will re-rack, restack, and get ready to go. That's going to move that inside row straight up, and Logan Calderwood going to go to the pole position now. Bacon going to move up to the inside of row number 2. Gasper going to follow him. That's going to be Shelton in the 98. Going to drop to the tail end of the lineup. Again, K1 Race Gear bringing heat race number 2. Calderwood, Western World action 1 year ago, 13th and 24th in prelim and championship night competition. Brings him around to the NOS Energy start can, and we're underway.
And a pretty strong start for Trey Osborne, who started from that fourth position, actually. Gets himself up to second. He challenges Max Adams for the lead down the backstretch.
Here comes Tall to the inside. Going to bring her around the bottom line, up to the middle. Adams up to the cushion. Advantage going to be to the Dwight Cheney on number 42. Adams going to lead lap number 1. Trey Osborne finds a slick backstretch up the racetrack and saves it. Brady Bacon closing quickly, not able to get by, as Kyle Cummins has worked up to Logan Calderwood right now, trying to battle and get up into a transfer spot as they come around here on lap number 2. Cummins does have it, getting by Calderwood.
Kyle Cummins not done yet. He's all over the tail tank of Brady Bacon as they're rolling past Trey Osborne right now down the backstretch.
Trey Osborne still working down to the bottom side of the speedway. Unfortunately, just not the fast line right now. Top side is where you got to be. He's going to fall back to 4th into the final transfer into the show as Max Adams leads the way in 42. Heat race number 1, one for the pole position. Ricky Thornton Jr. Max Adams sort of the outside of the opening row. He's got a pair of Western World veterans coming after him. Your defending winner and a 5-time main event winner in Western World competition, and your defending champion of this event just rolled the top side by Bacon for second.
Man, and did he thread the needle or what coming out of turn number 4? There wasn't a ton of room there between Brady Bacon and the retaining wall for Kyle Cummins, but he snuck through, which shows you just how badly he wants every single win, every chance he gets.
And Kyle originally came into the weekend. He was going to run double duty, 410s and 360s. Monday, called car owner Jerry Petty and said, I really just want to be able to focus on the USAC portion and try to get this win. So in competition and letting that focus show here as he rides it up into the second spot. Originally starting outside of row number 3, he was your second quick qualifier here this evening as the white flag set to come out this time. He is trying to reel in Max Adams. Battle on the racetrack right now. The 6 of Trey Osborne and the 6 of Logan Calderwood. Going to try to battle it out for the final transfer spot with 1 to go.
That is the transfer spot right now. Trey Osborne trying to hang on to it. He gets up on the top side of the racetrack, has decided to move up the racetrack as the laps have wound down. Going to be one more opportunity in 3 and 4 for Calderwood to get it done.
Off of turn number 4, though, checkered flag is out. K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 belongs to Max Adams. Kyle Cummins in second, Brady Bacon in third, and Trey Osborne does hold on for the final transfer into the feature event. That's your winner, ladies and gentlemen, at Loomis, California, to the Barn System Incorporated, Murray's Body Shop, Woods Chevrolet DRC, Pendleton Farms, number 42. Race fans, give him a hand, Max Adams. Kyle Cummins in second, Brady Bacon in third, Trey Osborne in fourth, Logan Calderwood in fifth, Saban Bybin in sixth, David Gasper in seventh, Harley Burns and Dayton Shelton. Unofficially rounding out your field. Let's go trackside.
Max Adams bags his second heat race win of 2025 here in K1 Race Gear. Heat race number 2 aboard the Dwight Cheney 42. Had some good speed in this car with the Avante windows and doors. USAC CRA Sprint Car Series out at the Calistoga Speedway was your Woodland Auto Display Quick Time qualifier on the Sunday night portion of that. But Max, it was a good drive there, start to finish, but we got to talk about the initial start. What happened between you and Saban coming to green?
I'm not sure what happened, if we just got in the grease or what, but I feel really bad about that. I like Saban a lot. I didn't mean to get into him like that. I know I'm sorry it doesn't really fix it or change the starting position there, but sorry to Saban. Really happy with our speed in the Dwight Cheney 42. I felt like we were okay right there. I couldn't really see where they're at behind me, obviously, but happy to put in the show and start further up forward in the show, and just thank you to Dwight and everybody helping out. Just here having fun.
Max Adams, your winner in K1 Race Gear, heat race number 2.
Thank you very much. USACgear.com. Heat race number 3 out to the Speedway. Driver on the poles out of Phoenix, Arizona. The Avanti windows and doors at CK Electric. Walker Filtration. High Performance Lubricants number 2. That'll be J.J. Yaley. Outside of him, you'll find Gunnar Setzer to Columbus, Indiana. The Midwest 2 Mill Superior Ag. Stanton Flea RC number 5G. The Black Gold Motorsports, Ben's Asphalt, the Blind Man Kistler Maxim 0G out of Phoenix. Kyle Shipley going to go from the 3rd starting spot. Ty Mahako, the Bull out of Peoria, Arizona. The Dave Wilson Special, Donut DRC, Steffi Excavating. Michael Most Trucking, number 5, going to line up next to him. Justin Grant out of Ione, California. The NOS Energy and PV Logistics, Top Industries. Number 4 for the 5th starting spot. Jake Swanson next to him out of Anaheim, California. The Inland Rigging Snake Enterprises. Darty Motorsports, number 5T. Kobe Simpson and then number 21K out of Bonham, Texas. The B-Town Automotive Canada DRC entry. He'll go from the inside of number 4. Next to him, you'll find James Turnbull II. He's out of Indio, California. The Barrassas Heating and AC. Van Dyne DRC number 2J. Final starter going to be Brent Sexton. He's out of Lakeside, California. The Sexton Fire Protection Shaver XXX. Key Brothers Racing at 44. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for USACgear.com heat race number 3.
So we saw the track change pretty significantly between the 1st and 2nd heat races. In heat race number 1, we saw it difficult to make up any ground once it was lost or to maybe even get some passing done. Heat race number 2, not so much the case, as Kyle Cummins started in the 6th position, worked his way up to a position where he was able to challenge for the lead.
The 181st heat race of the season. Out on the racetrack, Robert Ballou, despite being sidelined for the pretty much second half of the season due to a back injury, still leads at 15 overall heat races. And at one point, his plan was to get back in the car out here at the Western World. Unfortunately, not quite there, and the doctor's saying, not so fast.
Yeah, sure would have been a good opportunity to do that, but I think, he's already taken so much of the season to get to a place where he's going to be good for next year that it's, you don't want to jeopardize it.
Not only important to have, your car right, have the balance right, but to have yourself right. And we see that so many times where you see a driver get hurt and they try to keep going and they struggle really for about a month and a half or so until they're finally back to where they need to be physically and mentally.
And you understand the temptation, right? I mean, what Jerry Petty has done with the Western World Championships this year, really special, really cool to be a part of, $35,000 to win.
Yeah.
Easy to say, hey, I want to be there.
Definitely helps you get through the off season. A short off season. We kick things back off with Winter Dirt Games in February. Definitely want to make plans for that. Presented by Yokohama Tire. We'll have a little bit more information here as the night goes on. Set to go, USACgear.com heat race number 3, Yaley Setzer. Run number 1, Shipley Mahako run number 2, Grant Swanson, Simpson, Turnbull, and Sexton. Set to round out your field. The NOS Energy start can. We're underway. Oh my, big flip going into turn number 1. That's Turnbull. Drive line coming out of the number 2. An absolutely wicked flip up into the fence. And the good news, he is already out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. So right now he is having a chat with medical personnel, was able to get out of the car under his own power. But that was an absolutely wild flip. You saw the torque tube sitting on the racetrack. That shows you the extent of how violent it was.
Yeah, those don't come out very easy. They don't go in very easy either.
Now getting a look as they carry that off. If you're new to sprint car racing, the torque tube ball and bell, that all runs from the firewall to the rear end. That is right between the driver's ankles.
Yeah, and so anytime you see a situation like that, you have to hope that, of course, that we didn't suffer any big injuries. So, of course, we're not going to speculate. We don't know all of that information just yet, but just sending all the best wishes down there for sure.
So it'll be a complete restart once we get everybody rolling once again. And James back on his feet over in turn number 1. He had sat down, was talking with medical personnel there for a second. And Drake York making his way over into turn number 1. And we'll see if maybe he'll be willing to give us a word.
Indeed he is. James Turnbull, nice enough to have a chat with us. His 2J machine is absolutely destroyed, and that's just putting it lightly. Glad to see you're all right. A few scary moments there. First off, tell us what you saw from your vantage point headed down the front straightaway.
Plain and simple, Justin Grant's a fucking idiot. He likes the lane change on a fucking restart. Didn't get the fucking preferred start down the front straightaway. Lane changes me. I have nowhere to go. I'm on the brakes. And, you know, we're going so fast here off of a restart even. I mean, it's slick down the front straightaway. He expects he can own the whole fucking racetrack. I have nowhere to go. I'm on the brakes, and I hit the fucking wall. Nowhere else to go. It's truly unfortunate. You know, we had a great year this year, and, you know, I thought we were building on some great speed, and unfortunately, this thing's fucking junk. So, got to hit it hard, go back to Indiana with our tail in between our legs, and get ready for next year.
James Turnbull, safe to say he is not very pleased with Justin Grant after that incident on the front straightaway. And Brian, this is another one of the teams that came out from Indiana and actually had a bit of a saga getting out here as well. So I know it's extra heartbreak for James to have it end so early.
Definitely so. We're going to look at a replay here on FloRacing and get a look at what happened as they made their way into turns 1 and 2. Grant also caught the wall and was able to keep the car upright. We'll see if we can get another look at that as they'll slow the frame rate down. They'll come into frame right there. The 4's up the racetrack, and he bounces the right rear off Turnbull on the brakes. Unfortunately, that car turns right, and you see the damage to the number 2J.
And you have to wonder about damage on the 4 of Justin Grant as well. I mean, that was not light contact with the wall.
No, it was not. James definitely showing his displeasure. Apologies for teaching your kids new words here tonight. Just remember, the internet is the Wild West.
Don't worry, my niece is 3. She already knows those words. She uses them in context, though. It's fine.
True. The joy of having little kids is realizing they do understand you and they will repeat it to you, and you go, oh no.
And it's hard, you know, it's hard not to laugh, right? But you also have to redirect. It's tough.
Yes. You want them to be the best version of you, and sometimes doesn't quite happen. So the field going to begin to refire. And Justin rolling around. It doesn't, of course, hard to see from here. We could say, well, it doesn't look like there's damage. And trying to really, once he gets that angle, trying to see if maybe there's a little wobble on the Weeble there. And so far, doesn't look like it, but definitely a little scuff to it.
And Justin knows as well as anybody that if he wants a shot tomorrow, he's got to make sure that this gets done well right now. So I imagine he's going to drive it no matter what it feels like.
You know, and I'm sure sitting and staging, he's watching this on FloRacing. He's looking at what's going on. He knows he's got to get to the top of the racetrack. That's where he was trying to get to. Unfortunately, him and Turnbull getting together, the 2J ending up on the worst end of that.
And it looked like there may have been room when the action started, and then the room ran out really quickly by the time it was finished, of course. So, yeah, just a tough deal, unfortunate all the way around.
So Yaley, Setzer in row number 1, Shipley, Mahako in row number 2, Grant, Swanson in row number 3, Simpson and Sexton now in row number 4. We were set to have double Shipleys in 410 competition. Unfortunately, Joshua getting upside down during hot laps last night, so just focusing on the 360 side. So the field lined up, ready to try it again. Again, the starting point is the NOS Energy start can. You see it there at the exit of turn number 4. Side-by-side, nose to tail through that point. They'll make their way around, and we're back underway. You're going to dash off into turns 1 and 2. We've got them hopping around. They keep it upright, though, as we make it onto the back straightaway. One driver slow down onto the bottom side. I believe that is Sexton. He's going to pull it down to the apron. And looks like we might keep her green here as they come around to click off lap number 1. Gunnar Setzer going to come around to lead the way. Battle on for that 3rd spot. They were side by side, nearly 3 wide. A little bit of bumper tag onto the back straightaway. Jake Swanson like a shot to the back straightaway. And the 5 going to roll to the bottom. Here comes Grant to the inside. The slide up the racetrack. That is for the transfer spot. He is going after the 5 as we've got problems. One driver up in smoke. That is Shipley in 0. Kyle Shipley in the 0, gets the engine back a little overcooked. They are getting dicey. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Swanson holds on to the position. Mahako and Grant. Grant throwing the slider, not able to clear the 5 as Mahako held on to it. So the field going to line up single file real quick. Down to Drake.
Tough break for Kyle Shipley there. Has had a rough go of it in this heat race so far. Made contact with Justin Grant down in turn number 1. That already put him behind the 8 ball. And all of a sudden, Brian, seemingly with no warning on that 0G, it just went up in smoke in turn number 4. Tip of the cap to Kobe Simpson. He was running directly behind him. Had that car completely sideways trying to miss Shipley. And the good news is he did. So he'll continue from the tail of the field. Unfortunately, that's going to be race done for Shipley.
So we'll give it another try here. 6 laps to go, 2 laps complete in USACgear.com heat race number 3 so far. Gunnar Setzer are going to bring them back to green. He starts it early in turns number 3 and 4, and we're off.
So checking with timing and scoring. And remember, Race Monitor is unofficial. And going back, they were tied at the line, and the pass on the scoring computer showed Grant did have the position. But back to the 3rd decimal point, it showed him as a tie, so the system actually going back one more as Grant coming after the 5T here on the front straightaway. He's going to get the pass for the 3rd spot, takes it back to the top of the speedway, going to try to reel in and run down J.J. Yaley, but Swanson's not done. Going to go back to the inside of the NOS Energy number 4 over into turns 3 and 4.
Last time around, Jake Swanson had gotten a little bit loose coming off in turn number 4, much better that time, so he's able to continue sticking with Justin Grant and try to challenge him to retake that position, but all the while, they're trying to get past J.J. Yaley.
And Yaley putting the front end to the sky there at the exit of turn number 2, able to fend off the charge of the 4, holds down to the bottom side. Grant to the outside. He's got the advantage of the run. He's going to be the 5T along with them as Setzer leads. Grant up to 2nd. Swanson and Yaley now into that final transfer spot. Field onto the far side of the speedway. Leader up around the cushion. It continues to be the 5G of Gunnar Setzer. Adams in our last heat race winning for the outside of run number 1. Setzer trying to do the same. Justin Grant trying to upset his party. They're going to come around this time to find the lap coat flying. 1 to go. Grant trying the inside of 3. Nothing there. Loses ground to the front straightaway. He's going to go back to the top side over in turns 1 and 2.
So track position certainly important here at Central Arizona Speedway, it seems, as Gunnar Setzer going to bring them around one more time in turns number 3 and 4. Justin Grant, though, able to pass a lot of cars and get himself into the 2nd position. So did Kyle Cummins.
So USACgear.com, heat race number 3 belongs to Gunnar Setzer. Justin Grant in 2nd, Jake Swanson in 3rd, J.J. Yaley, that's the final driver. Moving on into the feature event. But your winner for the 13th time this season in heat race competition, the Midwest 2 Mill Superior Ag Davis Brothers Stanton Flea RC Chrome Dome number 5G. Race fans, give him a hand, Gunnar Setzer. Justin Grant in 2nd, Jake Swanson in 3rd, J.J. Yaley in 4th, Ty Mahako in 5th, Kobe Simpson, Kyle Shipley, James Turnbull, and Brent Sexton unofficially rounding out your field. As he'll roll it to a stop here on the front straightaway, let's take it out trackside.
Brian, you already mentioned his 13th heat race win of 2025 for Gunnar Setzer, your leading rookie in AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Championship points. Gunnar, this place is big, fast, and intimidating, but you've always had a knack for these big racetracks. As a matter of fact, one of your 2 top 5s on the season was at Knoxville earlier in the season. I know I've asked you this a few times, but what is it about this 5G that really just suits your driving style on these big and scary racetracks?
You know, coming into the year, I didn't think I'd be any good on these big tracks. I'm surprised I am, but, you know, the car's been pretty good on these big tracks. I don't know, the car's just been good. I just had to kind of drive itself, and, you know, the track's pretty sketchy. It's weird. It goes high, and then it goes low, and it's really slick down the backstretch. But, yeah, I just need to thank MTM, Davis Brothers, Superior Ag A&N Transport, King Racing Products, AMSOIL, and Austin for coming out. He came out from Indiana. He's a photographer, and he helps us out a lot.
Gunnar Setzer, as you heard him talk about, has really had a knack for these big tracks here in 2025. Also important to consider, Brian and Christy, came into the night just 14 points ahead of his Rookie of the Year championship rival, Hayden Reinbold. So some big points here in the heat race for Gunnar as he has that total and trying to extend his advantage over Reinbold headed into the final race of the season tomorrow night here at the Western World.
Thank you very much. Josh and Leland Spencer back in Indiana. Reese from Kokomo came up and said, want to let you know we know you're watching tonight. So glad you're able to tune in. Cookout, heat race number 4. Driving the poles at Peoria, Arizona. The Apache Transport Mopar Sherman race car. JH race number 97 is going to be Connor Lundy. Outside of him, the 17W. Austin Williams out of Yorba Linda, California. The Inland Rigging, Maxima Oil, One-Way DRC. Dunkel Farms, number 17W. Second row from the inside, it will be the Coleman, Alabama racer, the Inferno Armor, Majestic Electric, Factory Cane, Rock City racer number 3 of Kevin Thomas Jr. And next to him, you will find Ryan Brunell at Hollister, California, the Inland Rigging, Dunkel Farms, One-Way DRC, number 17. Hayden Reinbold at Gilbert, Arizona, the AME Electrical, Stanton Spike, number 19, from the inside of row number 3. Outside of him, Logan Seavey out of Sutter, California, the Mount Mechanical Contractors, Stanton DRC, Forecheck Marketing, Abacus Racing, number 57. Blake Bauer in the Tom and Christy Dunkel and the rigging, Maxima Oil, One-Way DRC number 17X out of Brentwood, California. He'll go from the 7th starting spot. AJ Bender next to him at a San Diego, California. The Bender Pull and Spa, Shaver DRC, Matrix Construction Services number 21. And your final starter is set to be Vern Sweeney at Alameda, California. Driving the Doug's Auto Body, Steelmate, Champion Fuels, Bill's Jerky number 98V. That'll be your scheduled lineup for Cookout Heat Race number 4. Field going to come around and get lined up behind the Toyota Racing Development pace truck. By the way, hello, Max.
The whole outside row of this one, California natives.
Got USAC CRA and, of course, your 2024 USAC National Champion.
And I'll just clarify my point a little bit, that maybe so I sound less crazy. Track position, very important. We've been able to witness that with Gunnar Setzer winning USACgear.com heat race number 3, Max Adams picking up K1 Race Gear heat race number 2, and also Ricky Thornton Jr. from the front row of Car IQ heat race number 1. However, still plenty of passing going on throughout the field as Kyle Cummins made that charge from 6th to 2nd, and then Justin Grant from 5th to 2nd. So you've got a little bit of both worlds going on here, where the track position, of course, important. It's always going to be important, but plenty of passing still going on throughout the field.
One more heat race to go after this. Lundy and Williams, row number 1. KTJ Burnell, row number 2. Reinbold, Seavey, run number 3. Bauer, Bender, run number 4. Sweeney and run number 5. Funny enough, the first 2 draws of the night for your qualifying order was Kevin Thomas Jr. and Ryan Brunell. They drew one right after the other, and now they start side by side. The Cookout Heat Race number 4. They're chasing each other tonight as we go to green.
See if they can't get away from each other here in this heat race.
3 wide for the top spot. Here comes the 3R to the inside to the outside. Goes the 17. Can't quite hold on to it as Kevin Thomas Jr. is going to take off of the race lead as they work into turns 3 and 4. KTJ around the bottom. He's the first one really to make that inside line work so far in the heat races.
Kevin Thomas Jr. quickly settling into a groove there as Connor Lundy still creeping around the top side of the racetrack. Logan Seavey, though, headed into his inside, challenging for that second position in turns number 3.
Logan around the bottom, trying to make the same move as the 3R here, so he can grab the second spot. Neither will do so. Neil Ryan in third, Austin Williams running in fourth. Ryan Burnell on the outside looking in right now. He's trying to rectify that as they come around to the exit of turn number 2. Everybody in a gaggle there as they made their way onto the backside of the speedway. But in the meantime, Kevin Thomas Jr. opening up his advantage. Here comes Logan Seavey now, this time going to the outside. He's got second at the line from Connor Lundy.
Yep, so Logan Seavey switching up that line quite a bit, and that was able to find him quite a bit more speed as Ryan Burnell currently holding down that 4th and final transfer spot. Here comes the 19 of Hayden Reinbold.
Reinbold trying to charge here as they make their way around to the front straightaway. He has taken over the 5th position here. Austin Williams going to get dropped back to the 6th spot as they make their way into turns at 3 and 4. Trying to race his way up into a transfer spot. Again, top 4 is where you want to be. And he is on the back bumper of the 17 of Burnell as they make their way into turns 1 and 2. Time is running out, though. They come around next time, it'll be 2 to go.
Hayden Reinbold closed that gap significantly. He's got another look to the inside of Burnell here in 3 and 4. Burnell gets up into the cushion a little bit. Hayden Reinbold tries to rotate it on the bottom. They're almost nose to tail as they come to the line.
Might have a challenge for the lead coming here. It was over a second last time. It's down to 0.6 of a second between Kevin Thomas Jr. and Logan Seavey. They're going to come around to see the white flag flying. The 57 up to the top, the 3R down to the bottom. Here comes Logan Seavey on the charge. Both drivers down to the inside of turns at 1 and 2. Kevin Thomas going to lead him onto the back straightaway for the final time here in Cookout Heat Race number 4. The 57 charges the outside. Can he bring enough momentum around Kevin Thomas? Up the racetrack, takes the line and holds onto it in 3. Logan Seavey in second. Connor Lundy and Ryan Burnell holds on to the final transfer into the main event.
Well, that was fun.
That one good to the last few feet difference, .119. And the Coleman, Alabama driver gets it done. The Inferno Armor, Majestic Electra, Stanton Mach 1, number 3R race fans. Give him a hand, Kevin Thomas Jr. Logan Seavey in second, Connor Lundy in third, Ryan Burnell. Those 4 drivers onto the feature event. Hayden Reinbold, AJ Bender, Blake Bauer, Austin Williams, and Vern Sweeney rounding at your field. Let's go trackside.
Brian and Christy, you said that perfectly. That was fun start to finish. KTJ looked to have it all won on the bottom side of the speedway, floated up high off of turn number 4 to block the charge, and KT Logan was hard charging at the very end of that race. You obviously slipped up off the bottom off of turn number 4. Did you know the 57 was coming with that big of a run off the top side of turn number 4 coming to the checkered?
I mean, I could hear him a little bit, and I knew at some point somebody was going to get their momentum, especially since I screwed up like probably 3 laps in a row, you know, down there into 1. So, you know, but, you know, the 57's good when it comes to momentum. And, you know, if he got that lane, I knew somebody was going to be there. Didn't know it was going to be him. But our car's good. We needed to win that heat race. You know, qualified, you know, back 40. So, you know, give us a better starting spot. And we'll just try to work on it and go forward.
Kevin Thomas Jr.'s had success before in the Western World when it comes to national midget competition. Still looking for that first one in a sprint car. Could come here this weekend at Central Arizona Raceway. He's fast, Brian and Christy.
He definitely is. Heat race number 1 was one for the pole. Heat race number 2 and 3 from the outside of the front row. And heat race number 4, 1 from the inside of row number 2. As we'll reset, Car AQ back up to bat here as the sponsor of heat race number 5. Charles Davis Jr. to Buckeye, Arizona, the MP Environmental. FK Indy, Chuck D's Wiener, Central Arizona Speedway, number 47, going to be in the pole position. Outside of him, Eddie Tafoya Jr. out of Chino Hills, California, the Specialty Fasteners. BR Motorsports, Ryder DRC. Magic Custom Graphics, number 51T, going to go to his right. The 73, Cole Wakeham out of Simi Valley, California. The Quick Change Products, One Way to Triple X Chassis. Sun Valley Ag Transport, number 73. He'll go from 3rd, from 4th. The Moose Racing, Brown Brothers Excavating, Daywig Meats, Lucas Oil Center, DRC number 92 out of Fort Branch, Indiana. That'll be Chase Stockin. Isaac Chappell out of Willow Branch, Indiana, the Mike Martin Racing. HG Enterprises, S&M Construction, Marty Wilcox Power, number 6W, going for the inside of row number 3. Outside of him, you will find CJ Leary out of Greenfield, Indiana, the Curb Records, Team Arizona, Apache Transport, Curb Agagene and Racing, number 21 AZ. RJ Johnson, inside of your next row to Levine, Arizona, the points leader for the Avante Windows and Doors USAC CRA Series. In the Avante Windows and Doors, Stanton Sherman Race Cars, the Race Shack, paint by Steve, Petty Performance, number 33P, with Sabin Bident. Or excuse me, Brecken Guerrero, 98, wrong driver. Lakeport, California, the Doug's Auto Body, Shaver DRC, Bill's Jerky, Champion Fields, number 98B, out of Lakeport, California. Again, apologies on that. He goes for the gate starting spot. And the 3M of Marty Hawkins out of Santa Rosa, California, the Hedged Solution, Shaver Maxim, number 3.
To be fair, we've got 3 98s this weekend. So, I mean, that's a lot of 98s.
98s and 17s.
And a couple 5s
We've
as well.
got 'em.
There were 3 5s in a row here in heat race number 3.
The 5G, the 5, and the 5T.
All lined up there on the outside of row number 3.
We have the 17W, the 17, the 17X, all in heat race number 4.
Don't even get me started on the AZs.
We got AZs. Of course, the 17 machines, Dunkel Calderwood, bringing those cars to bear. Don't worry, Richie, they got their shit. So Charles Davis Jr., he has been in Western World competition since 1994. From the unsanctioned days to the SCRA days.
And you know
to
what?
CRA to ASCS to USAC National.
He ain't as good as he once was.
But he's as good once as he ever
As he
was.
ever
He's going to take off of the lead as they make their way into turns 1 and 2. Charge and Charles going to try to get out and charge away from the field here to Foya, sitting in the second spot. The Moose is loosened up in a third now. Stockin backs her up. He tapped the wall a little bit, it looked like there in the entrance of turn number 3. Going to rotate it down to the middle groove, but it's going to be Tafoya holding him off.
Yeah, Stockin definitely trying to push the limits just a little bit there. He chooses the bottom side of turns number 1 and 2, playing a little bit safer. Tafoya able to reel him in very quickly down the backstretch.
Eddie going to try the bottom here over in turns 3 and 4. The 92 up around the top. Charles Davis not quite all the way to the cushion over in turns 3 and 4. Running more of the middle line here at both ends of the racetrack, and that is allowing Stockin to close in. Last time around, Stockin was the quickest driver on the speedway. Trailed by about a half a second. Charles right to the middle at turns 3 and 4. So far, keeping pace over the 92. Battle for that transfer spot ongoing. Wakeham has it. Leary trying to take it away from him.
CJ Leary trying to switch that lineup just a little bit. He's able to use the bottom side of turns number 3 and 4 to try and gain some momentum, but Wakeham just able to continue generating that speed on the top side of the racetrack.
Down the inside goes the Curbing Agagene, number 21 AZ into 3 and 4. Goes to the high side in turns 1 and 2. He's going to sell a dummy to the number 73. He protects the bottom, leaves the high side open, and got him. Leary going to take over that transfer spot. In the meantime, Davis, he's got company. Stockin had closed in considerably, working the bottom side of the speedway. That bottom groove, we saw Kevin Thomas use it and really started to get some work done with it. Now we see Stockin going down there as the pass for the third spot. CJ Leary making his way by Eddie Tafoya here. As they come around, it will be 2 to go.
And right on cue, CJ Leary pulling that pass off on the bottom side of the racetrack, continuing to commit to that here in turns number 1 and 2, which is interesting given that he made that pass for that transfer spot around the top side of the racetrack.
Battle for the lead. Down to the inside goes Stockin. To the outside goes Charles Davis. Track the Cougars and light one up. We've got one more lap to go. The 47. Wheels are onto the back straightaway. Hangs the Hoosiers high. Brings it off into turns 3 and 4. Rolls that middle groove. Stockin's going to go to the outside and try to get a run. Final heat race goes to Charles Davis Jr. in 47. Wins one for the locals here in Arizona.
That's a crowd pleaser.
You could hear the crowd come to life as he made his way off of turn number 4. Stockin, Leary, and Eddie Tafoya Jr., those 4 drivers. Moving on into the feature event. How about it, race fans from Buckeye, Arizona? Charles Davis Jr. getting the job done in Car IQ Heat Race number 5.
He's going to give you a victory lap.
He should.
I love this guy.
How can you not?
I hope he does a cage stand.
Do it, please. So Charles Davis Jr., Chase Stockin, CJ Leary, Eddie Tafoya Jr., those 4 drivers onto the feature event. RJ Johnson, Cole Wakeham, Isaac Chappell, Brecken Guerrero, and Marty Hawkins. unofficially rounding out your field. The WC Friend Company also helping to sponsor heat races here tonight. Silverman Solar, Sexton Fire Protection, and in memory of Jim and Chet Gardner was also a sponsor of heat race number 5. Let's go trackside.
Brian, you talked about it. This guy might be the living embodiment of what this race is about. For the first time this season, Buckeye, Arizona's Charging Charles Davis Jr. is a heat race winner with the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship. Charlie, I know you didn't show up here to win a heat race, but I know you always enjoy it when you do. How much more excited does this get you about the feature event, knowing you've got a really, really good race car here at a race I know you want to win more than anything else?
Yeah, this race means the world to me, you know. And, hey, you forgot to bring my smoke down. I had a V8 smoke there last night. I think that helped me out there through the heat race, but had a great car right through the middle. You know, the track was coming around there, so just decided to stick to it. And I heard, I think it was Stockham was there. Yeah, so, hey, proud of my guys. We got the car tightened up enough. Didn't do a good job qualifying, but now we got a good start spot for the 8.
Charging Charles Davis Jr., you know what? It's my bad that I didn't bring his smokes down. He was very adamant about that last night, but this guy, like I said, is the living embodiment of what this race is. So cool to see him have success in its big return here to Central Arizona Raceway. As Brian, that's going to wrap up heat race action tonight for the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship.
Thank you very much. With that, we will roll into heat race action for your San Chevrolet Wild West 360 Sprint Cars. If you're looking to follow along with this division, My Race Pass is the app you need to have handy. 4 heat races coming up.
4 heat races coming up and on the pole for your North End Diesel Repair Heat Race number 1 in the Hollywood Towing Johnson Racing 30K out of Phoenix, Arizona is Dan Klinder. Outside of Klinder in the Speed Sports Futura Trailers Advanced Machine Works 2X. Out of Surprise, it's the Prez, Josh Shipley. Inside of row number 2 in the